Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, from a frigid William Patterson campus. Welcome to the 7th episode of No Rest Holds for the Weary here on Brave New Radio. I'm Dr. Bacatoro. Somehow, some way, I'm awake at this hour. Didn't really have that good of a sleep, but I'm here, and I'm with some gentlemen here to talk some wrestling, and that's all that matters.
What up?
We got Samori Rose early for first time in a long time. Happy to see you here.
Don't mind me.
We got Jesse Norman, who was sitting out in the cold because he didn't read the Twitter DMs.
No, I read them. I just didn't think they applied to me because I'm always here last.
He read them, but he didn't listen.
It was like, oh, the Hobart side door's not open. Well, if all three of you are here, I expect that somebody can open the door, and it is cold out.
That's why we didn't want to open the door.
Yeah, it's cold.
That doesn't. No.
And then, of course, we have Mr. Stephen Clark.
Hello.
Lots of stuff happened this week in the world of professional wrestling. We have stuff that happened on Raw, stuff that happened on SmackDown, stuff that broke online about NXT, and then we got to talk about NXT itself because that also happened. Second hour, we put some papers to pens, and we're going to fantasy book the summer of wrestlers that we chose arbitrarily, and that's going to be fun. But first, let's get into stuff that actually happened. Monday Night Raw happened. Lots of stuff happened. How'd you guys feel about Monday Night Raw this week?
Meh.
Yeah, meh.
I kind of started to fall asleep a little bit. It was good. I felt like they built very well naturally on the three big things that they did last week with Roman coming back, Becky's involvement in the Ronda Charlotte match, and then Batista Triple H. They had logical next steps forward.
Yeah.
Everything around that was kind of like, okay.
Yeah, with the three main points, they were all good, but just all the filler in between was the meh. Yeah, I kind of fell asleep too. It's okay. I have long Mondays and Raw's enough. Yeah. But the three main parts of the show, they were all good.
Yeah.
So I'll take that. It's fine with me.
I think they're making the Becky and Ronda feud a little too just weird. Like, okay, just hear me out here. Like, don't like think of like and try to like think of this in WWE ways. All right, a person came out last week, relinquished the title. Came out this week, said, "Oh no, I didn't relinquish the title. That's still my title." And then the boss just says, "Okay," and gives the title back. Yeah. And then, hold on, I'm not done. A person who was suspended 3 weeks ago in your workplace just came back, and the boss was like, "Yeah, they're promoted."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But it was the same boss who said that we wanted you in the match at Mania, though.
But who the week before kicked her leg when she was attacked, and the night after her husband was like, "I think you're scared to fail," and then was like, "Nah, we like you."
Yeah.
I just think
it's kind of flip flop right now with them.
It's just there's two. I think they were just like, "Oh, okay, we have Ronda Becky for WrestleMania in 4 weeks. Oh, we have 9 weeks. Okay."
This goes back to your point that you've made for a couple of weeks that we don't need pay-per-views in between shows. How the hell do you get from point A to point B in 10 weeks and come up with 10 weeks of TV? You need these logical stopping points at these pay-per-views. That's why that they have them here.
I don't know if you'd say logical.
Yeah.
But...
Okay, so let's reel it back here. Look at Seth and Brock. How do you build that for 10 straight weeks?
Well, listen, Brock's not going to be there for 9 of the weeks.
So all you can really do there is
promos.
Paul Heyman talks, Seth interrupts, maybe once every blue moon Brock comes out F5s him. Yeah. That's all that the build could be for 10 weeks.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You need these kind of ebbs and flows and things to change that you see on this Ronda, Becky, Charlotte three-way build.
I think there's too much changing. Like, to the degree that it's, like, confusing because it's like, wait, Ronda just wasn't the champion. She relinquished it, and then she got it back because she was just like, I want it.
Yeah, there was too much going on in a way in that last segment. It was like, oh, Ronda comes back out of nowhere. Becky's back. Now Ronda's back. Now Ronda wants her title. Now Ronda's turning on everybody.
Now Becky's not suspended,
Yeah.
and then I'm also so confused on the Becky injury because she was injured, then she was medically cleared. To be medically cleared, you can be like a little beat up. You can't still be injured. Like your knee cannot like be torn.
Yeah, there's a difference between hurt and injured.
And injured, exactly. Yes. So like she's playing up as she's injured, not that she's hurt.
Yeah. And
then I don't know, like it got way too like confusing for a feud that like was so hot. Like was absolutely the hottest thing in wrestling was Ronda and Becky, especially Becky. And I just feel like there was like, you didn't need to add all of this in, but I get like they had 10 weeks. So they tried to prolongate it as much as possible and go from how do we get Ronda and Becky to Ronda, Charlotte, Becky, and how do we make sense of it all? I just don't know if I like the way they did it by trying to mix too many things in that I don't think were necessarily needed.
Yeah, with so much going on, they might have to dial back just a little bit. Because you're right, it is getting a little confusing.
I just need like a summary. Like I just want them to like recap what is going on in just this feud.
So I think your answers will be answered, or your questions will be answered. It's early. Because FastLane, they did announce Charlotte versus Becky. If Becky wins, she's back into the triple threat. It makes it a triple threat WrestleMania.
Yeah,
so
that's gonna happen.
Either Becky's gonna win or Ronda's gonna beat them both up, and then some dumbassery they're gonna get Becky back in.
I hope that doesn't happen.
It's gonna be a triple threat either way.
It's gonna be a triple threat.
I just hope Becky wins straight up.
Yeah,
that would be better for the story.
Yeah,
I agree.
So any questions of like what the hell is going on, I think will be remedied once they're like, okay, it's a triple threat. Let's just kind of work on that then.
Yeah, it's just the process of getting it to that triple threat that I think they like sort of didn't know how to get there, or at least they had that end goal of like, okay, well, we're setting up Becky versus Charlotte, whoever gets in. And then there was like a weird thing in the writers' room. We're like, why don't we get her to vacate the title? Somebody was like, yeah. And then the next week they were like, wait a minute, why did we take the title off Ronda? Let's have her take it back.
Yeah.
But not in a cool way.
Of course not.
She's going to ask for it. And then they're just going to give it to her.
Speaking of asking for it and giving it to him, Roman Reigns asked for a Shield reunite.
Look at that transition.
And it happened.
Whoa.
Hey, he got it.
Yeah.
I've heard people complain, we knew it's going to happen. Oh, are you looking at Jesse?
He's been telling me for like 2 weeks that he thinks all the Shield reuniting stuff is
they're bad, and it's always bad because they don't give it a long. I'm sorry.
Hey, no hot takes today.
They don't give it a long enough time. Dante, we've talked about this. When did the Shield break up?
2014.
And how many reunions have they had, guys?
At least 3.
Like 4, around 3 to 4 or 5, somewhere around. This, I think, is
their third.
Is this their third?
October 17.
Yeah, the 2017 reunion, the 2018 reunion.
Well, this is the third time.
And this is the third time.
Those other Shield reunions sucked.
And the best one was with Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But look, Dean Ambrose was hurt for the one in 17, and Roman had cancer. So this time, let's hope they're all going to be healthy and nothing really happens. And hey, one more time, you won't have any more reunions after this. I would think so.
I think Dean Ambrose might stay now.
I think Dean's resigning.
But they did say once in a lifetime.
Yeah,
so
okay, once in a lifetime is a very, very loose WWE verbiage.
Yes, it is.
I'm still just surprised at the whole Shield. Like, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, all obviously like 3 of your top guys in the company. They've still only had one triple threat match on pay-per-view, and that's Battleground.
That should have been at SummerSlam, I thought, but they were doing the brand split.
They needed to get it done.
So they needed to get it done.
Yeah, but
it should have been at a bigger pay-per-view.
I think if both going into 2017 or 2018, I'm saying words, either WrestleMania 34 or WrestleMania 35, I think the plan was originally going to be Shield triple threat.
Yeah, that was always going to happen in the main event of WrestleMania.
Why reunite the Shield? Just to, the end game was probably eventually someone turns and it leads to a match of Mania.
This WrestleMania would have been perfect for it.
Yeah, because they would have come back.
And Roman would have
been long enough that you got invested again.
Yeah. The only one criticism I have about it is it's really soon. I would have gave Dean Ambrose like another week or so, but FastLane they needed to get the match done.
Yeah,
so
that was the thing.
That was the main reason for it.
Sunday.
Right.
But say if this was 2 weeks ago, and this happened, give it a few more weeks. Let Dean Ambrose make up his mind at FastLane if he wanted to compete or not. Mm-hmm. But hey, I'm all for it. I like the Shield together. They're really good together.
Yeah.
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 To your point, you just backtracking a little bit, Jesse. You're talking about, is Becky hurt or is Becky injured, stuff like that. She signed to hold harmless on Raw, so she could still technically be injured, but she's allowing herself to compete despite that.
Her injury or her being hurt.
So that gives you a little more context with the whole, is she injured, is she hurt thing.
And shout out to Ronda. She actually did a really good job turning heel.
Yeah.
Screw the Rue and screw the man. That was really good.
Yeah.
I don't like the shirts.
Yeah, those shirts are
hilarious.
The shirts are terrible.
I think it's so funny.
They're silly, yeah. Even Charlotte on Twitter was like, what the hell are you doing, girl?
That?
No, and then she beat up Becky. It looked like she was actually
yeah.
And like what she said on Twitter, like
where
she's like, the next time I see you,
yep.
So you know what? I'm with it. If Ronda's gonna be a full heel, at least we got 2 heels in that match, and let's see who gets booed more. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to at that match.
I think Charlotte still.
Yeah, probably still Charlotte. Charlotte, because like Charlotte's now that
corporate kind of.
Yeah. And also she's like the Cena figure of when she was just she beat too many women in the division that it made it not cool.
Yeah.
So Charlotte's now like the establishment of the women's division.
I agree. Yeah, wholeheartedly.
What'd you guys think of SNL's Colin Jost?
I was asleep. I didn't see them the whole time.
So
I saw Braun Strowman like throw him in the air.
Yeah,
Braun
they originally had an unfunny segment where Michael Che and Colin Jost were announced as like correspondents for WrestleMania, so they're going to be at Mania doing some sort of skit. So they talked to Stephanie McMahon and Colin Jost because they were in Philly. He put on a Mets hat.
The white one's Colin Jost?
Yeah.
I like him. I'm a Mets fan.
Okay.
Screw the Mets.
Yeah. Then later, backstage, he talked to Braun Strowman after Braun lost, and Braun like full on David Schultz them and like just choked them up against the wall through commercial.
Yeah.
They went to commercial break. He was up on the wall. They came back from commercial break. He was still up on the wall. I don't know how he passed out.
So dumb.
He didn't pass out. So.
What did people in the arena see?
Who knows?
I need to know.
They went to black with.
They just hold him?
They faded to black real quick. So yeah. Speaking of Braun Strowman, I didn't like that segment. What?
It's dumb.
What did you call him? The breakfast
Club.
Yeah, the Breakfast Club.
I hate breakfast.
Hold on. Slow your roll.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was dumb. They just squashed. Oh, they just squashed all of them, and poor Kurt Angle. Like, what
can Kurt Angle do with his life, though?
The retirement match?
Yeah.
Look, I thought they were going to give him the Ric Flair angle, and that's what they should have done.
They should have done it.
How should they have done it, though? Because now here's another singles match for Mania that you need to fill in.
Literally just do Vince McMahon coming down and telling
Vince
Kurt,
would be like, you're a waste of space. Yeah. The next time you lose, leave my presence.
Heel part. Like, because obviously right now Vince is the heel, even though I think it'll never pay off. I think, like, Kevin Owens and Charlotte being put in the match by McMahon, I don't think that'll ever pay off. I don't think they'll ever do anything with it. But you can play up that heel part a little bit more. Play up the fact that, like, people think he's, like, this crazy old guy who just, like, changes his mind all the time. That perfectly works.
Yeah, like he's bipolar.
Yeah,
but basically tell Kurt Angle you're a waste of space. You shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Why are you here? Blah, blah, blah. The next time you lose, disappear.
Okay.
Oh, see, and I have a great thing for that. Then you just have Vince McMahon pick his guy to go against Angle at Mania, and it's John Cena.
Why would Vince pick Cena, though?
Because John Cena is the establishment.
But John Cena's not going to be the bad guy in that situation.
I would say
it's like Shawn Michaels was the bad guy in the Ric Flair situation.
Yeah, but he
really
came forced to do that because Flair wanted to fight him.
All right, then you do Vince McMahon's handpicked guy, Drew McIntyre.
I would rather say Drew.
McMahon and Drew have a history before then.
And then you can put Drew over by doing that. And
I don't know how
Kurt Angle do one more moonsault, and hopefully he'll survive that.
No.
It'll land on his head.
Hopefully he'll survive it.
I don't think he'd get halfway to
his man's neck is made of silly putty and rubber bands at this point. There's no way he's doing
He'll pull it
Overstretched
out. He'll pull
rubber
it.
bands.
He'll pull it out for one last time.
Anything else pertaining to Monday Night Raw?
The tag team match was decent for what it was until.
Oh, Black and Ricochet and the revival.
They're going to get a title shot. That's fine by me.
FastLane predictions at the bottom of the hour. It's going to be
I said Aleister Black Ricochet at Mania for the titles. If everybody remembers that, they pulled that trigger a little early, but
hey, they're going to be in a few matches that weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah, they're beating the Forgotten Sons.
Hopefully.
They're beating the Forgotten Sons. So they will be forgotten because, oh my goodness.
Okay.
And just Triple H on Raw too. That's the only other thing that I want.
Look, I don't like Triple H, but that was a really good promo.
Great promo.
When he's like really fired up and like really engaged to a promo, it's
so
good.
When he's into it, like
The only thing I didn't like was him like using like his shoot name.
I like that.
He should have said, "I'm Paul Levesque. What do you want from me, Dave?"
This is,
it's
this
like,
is Phil Brooks
come on now.
talking to Paul.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you're gonna go all the way with it.
Yeah.
You said Ric Flair's real name, like go all the way with it. If you're gonna do that,
Yeah, I know.
I like Batista's part. He's like, I just don't want to be there.
Yeah, I love that.
He's just like, I'm not coming. He's like, I could, but I'm not.
That's so funny.
See, Batista gonna carry this feud, but that's for another time.
So SmackDown, we had a new United States champion,
Thank God.
Samoa Joe. I loved R-Truth's promo though, where he's like, "Damn you, John Cena."
Damn you, John Cena.
Yep.
Yeah, so
The right person won.
hell of a four-way too.
Really
yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hooting and hollering all night long. Joe, Andrade, Mysterio, and R-Truth.
And R-Truth was good in it too.
SmackDown
Yeah.
4 right there.
R-Truth is. I've said this for years, even when people hated R-Truth. Like
He's a good
R-Truth,
wrestler.
if you put him in a good role, like that lower mid card can like step up to do some humor. He's
golden.
He's one of the best. Like he is one of the best at just going like into that doing mid card humor.
Yeah.
He is hilarious. I am just disappointed that they did not do R-Truth
Versus John Cena
at
at
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Oh God,
See,
that would have
now
been
that
amazing.
gives Cena a reason.
To
that
fight
gives
Joe.
Cena
Oh,
a reason.
he's coming back to fight Joe.
Yeah.
That gives him a good reason.
Because they wanted to do Joe Cena last year, but Joe got hurt.
Yeah.
And then we needed to fill some role for Cena to do at Mania because Lars upped and left.
Yeah,
So-
that's all scrap too.
Yeah.
Reportedly,
So-
everything for Lars is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it'd been
Tossed
Drew and
out.
Cena, but if I get Joe and Cena, that's even better.
Yeah.
Me too. I agree with that.
If you look at this SmackDown, I believe Wrestle Talk was talking about it. You have at this WrestleMania right now, you have AJ Styles and Randy Orton, and Samoa Joe and John Cena.
The TNA stars versus
TNA,
the yep.
This is TNA 2007 versus WWE 2007
That's my
I'm
childhood.
all
in
for it.
2019.
I love it.
That's my childhood TNA.
And
right
speaking
there.
of Randy and AJ,
They had a nice little confrontation
He's
again
like-
this week.
it took you 15 years to get to WWE.
I
Either
love
way.
that.
I love
Oh,
it.
so good.
If Randy's gonna be engaged for this feud, I'm all for
I
it.
love it. So the reports after SmackDown they did 205, and then after 205 they did like one more dark match to send fans home happy, and it was Orton and AJ, and Orton reportedly like looked around and like pretending like look at his watch, and he's like, "Where the hell is everybody?" Because all the people left because of 205. Like if Randy is like this kind of Randy, it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
So good.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm all for it.
yeah.
Yeah, when Randy cares,
It's fantastic.
He's really good.
Yeah.
It's just weird because sometimes he cares more when he's in the mid card than
Yeah.
when he's in that main event.
Right,
Like,
right.
You would think a guy only cares when he's like, "Oh, I'm going for the WWE Championship."
He's the opposite.
But no, Randy goes through the motions in WWE title matches, but when he's in a mid card feud that like doesn't really matter that much, that's when you see the best Randy Orton. Like,
Yeah.
I was going back to Orton versus Rollins at Mania 31.
Yeah.
How great that was. It was open.
Hell of a
one
match,
the
yeah.
First matches.
Second or third match.
Second
Yeah,
match.
one of the first matches of the night.
Yeah.
And it was better than, I'd say, his performance at Mania 25, obviously, or
Yeah.
Mania 30 in that fact. Like,
No, it was definitely better than both of those.
yeah, which is nuts to think about.
Not Mania 30. Mania 30, he did pretty
Yeah,
good.
25.
25.
definitely.
25, definitely.
20,
yeah.
yeah, 25.
And
Better
even
than
at
that
27 when he
abortion,
fought Punk, that was
Yeah,
that was one of the better matches on
you're
that
right.
card.
Yeah. And when he's in a title match, say even at what was it, 33 against
Oh,
Wyatt,
yeah.
how bad that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and oh man,
Yeah.
keep him out of the title picture.
Yeah.
Let him do the regular feuds.
It's all good.
Mandy Rose beat Naomi.
Squashed
Naomi. Beat the hell out of her.
Whoa.
And then Asuka beat the hell out of her and Sonya. Did you see the whole Asuka injury scare thing on Monday?
Yeah.
So Queen Mandy Rose was going to hit her with the big glam slam gimmick, but Asuka thought she was going to counter into a victory roll, and she ended up taking a half and half driver on her head and shoulders.
It's good that Asuka's okay.
Yeah, she's fine. She said bro in her Twitter diagnosis. She's like, yeah, I'm good, bro. It's like, okay, Asuka, you're good.
Yeah, Asuka's one tough girl. She's all right.
Mustafa Ali returned. That just kind of went.
And I like how they did it. Like
Yeah.
in the first segment, Kevin was like, Danny Bryan's like, you don't have any friends. And he's like, yeah, I know I don't have any friends. He's like, and that's all my fault. And then, hey, somebody came out and helped him.
Yeah.
I thought they were doing a Sami Zayn.
Me too.
Yeah, if Sami's...
I mean, I knew it couldn't be because it would have been way too reported.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of early, too.
Maybe.
Well, Sunday he's going to come back.
Yeah.
You think so?
He's going to cost Kevin Owens the match.
Wait till my fantasy booking.
Oh,
fellas.
okay. I'm sorry.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. But seeing Mustafa back is great. I have no idea what the hell he does in Mania. Or Andre. The Andre is going to be so unbelievably stacked
Which
this
is
year.
good.
I'm scared. I think what they're going to do is instead of Joe and Cena for the title,
Big cluster ladder gimmick.
I'd rather
get everybody on the card. Everybody needs a payday. Everybody
If
needs the
Andrade Ray
royalties.
gets their own match, then it's not going to be a cluster.
But I
because
don't
they
think
both have to be in that
Because they're
title
both
match.
because Ray's not working
Exactly.
the armbar. They're not going to put Ray in the armbar. So he's either working Andrade or he's working U.S. title cluster.
Yeah, and that's what I think it's going to end up. I want Joe and Cena 1-on-1.
Me too.
I think that's where the money's being made. But could they probably put on a better match with Cena, Joe, Ali, and then Andrade Rey Mysterio? Obviously, they can probably put on a better match because you have, I would argue, 5 of the best workers in WWE, period.
Yeah, all those different
in
styles are
one
going to
match.
mix, too.
Yeah.
Exactly. You imagine what Ali and Ray can do together and what Ray and Andrade have already
And
done.
you probably see like an Ali Ray singles match on TV, like leading up to that.
it.
Yeah.
So like that would be great, but I just think just going off that though, imagine the Cena and Joe promos and just the big fight feeling.
That's what I'm
that
mainly looking
Cena and
for.
Joe
Yeah.
would have.
He's so
Like,
good.
Joe will just come out and cut promos like, dude, you're the face of this place, and I don't care. I'm gonna choke you out. And like it would just, and Cena has to sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm not scared of you." And Joe's like, "I don't need you to be scared of me. I'm just gonna choke you out." Like the promo, the feel would just be enormous.
I know he'll bring up Nikki Bella.
Yeah.
sometime.
Yeah.
That-
He'll be like, "Oh, while I was out here choking people out in NXT, you were here proposing to your ex-girlfriend."
just give me Joe on the mic with Cena.
Yeah.
That's going to be
And
good.
if Cena brings up like TNA or something like that, how good that would be. Well, I was running this place for how many years you were?
You were in a dying company.
Yeah,
Did you see John Cena dyed his eyebrows?
Yeah.
He looks stupid already with his hair. So.
Yeah.
I don't like the
yeah.
hair.
He has to go
Cena.
back. He has to go back to the.
I think somebody in Hollywood, somebody in Hollywood's got to tell him to keep it because it gives him. You know what it does do? It gives him a dad vibe.
Yeah.
does.
So if he's
He
playing
can play the dad
roles,
role, yeah.
he can play the dad role easier because
Yeah.
that is a dad haircut.
Yeah, and he also needs to get rid of that move that he does. It's trash,
The
too.
punch?
Yeah, he needs
Oh,
punch.
I love it. I love it.
No,
It's just like isn't
That's
it? It's
okay,
like
I
a
love it.
Chinese.
He needs to get.
something.
He
needs to
learned
get
it
rid
from
of it.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah, it was Jackie
something
Chan.
like
Yeah,
that.
He learned it from Jackie Chan
That's
himself,
cool
yeah.
and all, but he needs to get rid of that.
Yeah, it's not part of his.
He could do it before the 5-knuckle shuffle, but don't do
Yeah.
it after the AA.
I
It's
don't.
dumb.
I don't like it as a finish, but I like it as a move. Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah, the move
yeah.
fine, but the finish is
No,
garbage.
don't
Yeah.
ever make that.
If
a
he
finish.
beats Samoa Joe like that at WrestleMania,
with the punch.
come on now.
Oh come on! I
Imagine
love
if
that.
R-Truth won the U.S. match last night with that move.
That'd be hilarious.
They didn't do enough with. I still want R-Truth to still copy Cena's moves.
If he comes
Just
out
because.
dressed as Cena now
Just
too with
still
the
does.
headband.
Next week he'll probably come out. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna do a U.S. Open challenge." He'll probably do something like that.
Before we hit our break, the next inductee in the WWE Hall of Fame got announced. Tori Wilson.
I guess.
Yeah.
They're running
Why
out of
not?
people. It's okay.
All right.
That's
They are running out of people.
that's
All
fine
right.
by me though.
A lot of because the problem is, and I think Steve, did we talk about this before? It was either me and Steven or me and Dante have talked about this. WWE has a lot of Hall
was
of
us, yeah.
Famers on the current roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have that many Hall of Famers off the roster right now. They're kind of still like, realistically, if nobody retires right now, they have 2 to 3 more headliners. They have Batista
Taker
and they have Undertaker
And The Rock.
and Rock.
and like Rock, but I think they're saving Rock for probably like one more final
One big
angle
match, yeah.
thing.
With
Yeah,
Roman
probably.
probably.
Oh,
if you put Triple H alone,
eventually.
But even then you have to wait for that. So right now they have like probably at max like 3 headliners that they can really do.
And it's just like whoever else worked
and then
for the
it's
company.
like, oh, who was in the company in the 90s and like.
That being said, here's me putting over Tori Wilson here. The greatest blood feud in the history of professional wrestling against Dawn Marie in 2003.
Over her father?
Oh yeah. Her
When
father
the
died for this business for Tori Wilson. Hell of a blow off at the Rumble in 2003. Go back and watch that match. She held the fort down on SmackDown because they didn't have a women's title.
Yeah.
But she was the women figure for SmackDown. And she's been in the business since WCW. Like she started in WCW in the late 90s. So,
No, that's nuts.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And like I'm not saying like this is why she got in, but in the same vein of like DDP is bettering people's lives with DDP yoga, she has her body positive yoga meditation thing going on. So yeah, so she's bringing good to the world outside of that, and that's always a good thing for WWE.
Good for her.
They're nothing against it.
Yeah,
no.
And like people are saying, oh, why not Molly Holly? Why not Victoria? And it's like I'd like them in the Hall of Fame too, but
they'll get in like 2
other years.
Yeah, they'll get in next year or the year after that.
Michelle McCool too is another one on the list.
Yeah, and think about all the
She'll
women.
go in with the Undertaker, probably.
Nah.
Yeah,
No,
She'll go in probably with Lay Cool.
No, I mean
that would be a hell
like
of
the
a
same class as the Undertaker because you know they're married.
Oh my God, I would love for them to do Lay Cool and they do like the half belt. Like they remember when they used to have the belts? Oh yeah. That'd be cute. I'd like that.
So that was the first half hour. Christ. Okay.
Oh, so you're old there, sir.
Yeah. When we come back, we're going to predict FastLane. We got to talk about some big stuff that happened on NXT and whatever else we have to talk about from this week. So you're listening to No Rest Holds for the Weary on Brave New Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to No Rest Holds for the Weary here on Brave New Radio. Dante Vacatoro, Stephen Clark, Samori Rose, Jesse Norman. Raw and SmackDown happened, both pretty good. Now it's time to predict FastLane because that is Sunday from the Q
it's Sunday
in Cleveland, Ohio.
Ew. Nobody likes Cleveland.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
I don't think Cleveland likes Cleveland. That's
Cleveland
fine.
doesn't like Cleveland.
So,
Oh boy,
first of all, what do you guys think of the card?
not bad.
I want my money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm looking at you, Jesse. I want my money.
Okay, guys, explain all these feuds. I just explained how Charlotte Becky happened.
That match is going to be good.
And it doesn't even make sense.
I don't care. The match is going to be good.
It doesn't even make sense.
Is the match going to be good?
Technically, if Becky has it in her contract that she gets a title shot.
Easy, Jesse.
If she gets a title shot from Royal Rumble, it's in her contract. She doesn't need to fight this match.
Hey, let's all calm down.
Just saying.
Hey.
I just want my money.
You're not getting it because this card mostly doesn't make sense.
It's a beautiful morning out there, you know?
It's not. It's cold.
Okay.
It's sunny, though.
So, on the kickoff, Andrade Mysterio.
Fire.
Hoot and holler.
This
Yeah.
is one of the hardest ones to predict, actually, on the whole card, I'd say.
Yeah.
I would give the win to Andrade. Andrade, maybe. Give them like 20 minutes and have him win clean. Because the last time they fought and he won, it wasn't clean. And then the 2 out of 3 falls match didn't end. So I would give him the clean win, then lead it up to something to Mania. Who knows?
I think
It's
Mask.
probably the U.S. title thing. That's what.
Oh, Mask versus hair, maybe? Although I don't know what Andrade would look like
Bald
bald.
Andrade? Oh.
Yeah, Andrade wouldn't lose.
Oh,
that,
we just demask Ray then.
Yeah, that's all.
That's fine.
or his career,
And his career. It's a retirement
or
match.
his career.
Yeah.
No, Ray still has so much more to give.
I know, and then he would probably win at Mania if they did the career thing.
Yeah.
We can't have too many one-on-one matches. Everybody needs to be on the card.
That's what the Andre the Giant's for.
I think Andrade wins.
Yeah, I'll go with Andrade, too.
Yeah, I'll give it to Andrade. Ray's kind of on a losing streak. He took the pins in the last 2 U.S. title matches.
Yep.
So they're probably helping Andrade a little bit in that regard. It's still going to be a hell of a match.
Give him 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And
It's on the pre-show.
All the kickoff matches have had like 15 minutes.
I normally don't watch the pre-show live, but I'm going to watch that
Yeah.
live.
This is tune-in kind of stuff. Yeah. I'm just going to go up the card. Actually, I'm not because it's in a weird order, but I'll just start at the bottom here. Raw Tag Team Title Triple Threat. We got the Revival, Gable and Rude, and Alistair and Ricochet. This is a hard one.
I think the Revival, and it's going to be a cheap win. Like Ricochet's going to hit like Bobby Roode with a 630, and then they're going to throw him out the ring and then win like that. Something in that sense, but I think it's too early to take it off the Revival, unless you're going to switch them over to SmackDown.
Right.
But I would still have them lose at Mania if you're going to switch them over to SmackDown.
Yeah, it's too soon to have them lose. They're fresh with the titles, and I really don't see Bobby and Chad becoming a 2-time tag team champions, and I also don't see Ricochet and Alistair staying as a tag team in the near future. So, yeah, they'll retain. Yeah,
and I don't feel like giving it to them because they're kind of still obligated in NXT.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't make sense to give them the tag titles.
Yeah, if they have the tag titles here, then it kind of plays up more of that NXT is taped kind of thing, where it's like it's on a really big delay. I think Revival wins. I think this match doesn't probably get enough time. I think there's probably still like 5 minutes left of work that they could have done, but they probably cut it short. But yeah, it's too soon to pull it off the Revival. It's too early to put it on Black and Ricochet.
And no one wants it on.
And who cares about Bobby Roode and Chad Gable?
Nobody did when they were the champions.
I love Chad Gable. I think he has incredible potential, but I could not care less.
They need
about
to do
this
something.
tag team.
Bobby Roode's too good to be in the predicament he's in. I think.
I think Chad
he's
Gable's
old.
has too much potential to be.
And
I think they're
too.
both really good tag team wrestlers, though.
I think Gable can have a singles run.
I think
after,
Roode
like,
Not very
established-
high, though.
I think Roode could
he
have
can-
a singles run if he's heel.
Heel,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the only way.
I think Gable can have the singles run to the degree I think he can pull good matches out of a lot of guys.
He could, but what do you do with him as a character? He's not much more than a good match.
Yeah, you can make him like an underdog thing just do like one run. You don't have to do like something crazy, but you can just do one for one of those filler pay-per-views. Have him go for like
An IC title?
mid-card belt, IC belt
At the
something
Saudi
like-
show.
Just have
Try him
like,
out on that.
Do something like have him do a little thing, but
Saudi show.
I could. I just don't care about this tag team in general.
Yeah, neither do I.
So I think the Revival, but I also think if they're gonna take the belts off of now, they're the least likely to win because they're the most likely. I could see them in the Andre Battle Royal WrestleMania. Not that I necessarily think that they will be, but win or lose, there's no real big reason to have them on the Mania card in an actual tag match.
No, the tag division doesn't matter.
Right.
It does.
Especially on Raw, especially.
Braun Strowman's buried the Raw tag team division like at least 2 times.
The way the NXT tag division was shown this Wednesday, like made the main roster look like crap.
Yeah, if there's one title that's not on the Mania card, definitely the Raw tag titles.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
They're just finagling around the way that this is ordered because they order it in the way that it was announced, not necessarily in importance order.
Okay.
Women's tag title match: Boston Hug, Nia and Tamina. Boston Hug, right?
Boston Hug.
Yeah, they have to win.
Yeah.
Easily. Once again, I can't see Tamina holding a title in 2019.
It would be dumb for them to lose.
Yeah.
I think Tamina, it has like just the lowest crowd reaction of anybody I've ever heard.
It's just nothing.
Nobody cares.
It's like just nothing. She doesn't even get booed.
She doesn't get crickets. The crickets are quiet too.
She gets nothing.
Oh, man.
It'll be all right. I think it'll be a good enough match.
Yeah, it'll be good.
I'm not excited for this match because I know what it's going to be. It's going to be Sasha and Bayley getting worked over by Nia and Tamina the whole match.
Yeah.
And then in the last like minute or two, they're going to get like a little hype thing. And then they're going to like get a roll up or they're going to tag team Nia Jax because they can't beat her one-on-one because Nia Jax is so big. And that's going to be, I will put $5 down on that right now. That's going to be.
You're already going to owe us some more money, so why not just add to it?
Looking at this card, I'm not going to owe you guys money. Sorry. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not going to owe you guys money. This has like 2 good matches on there.
I hope it craps the bed.
Whoa. Continue, Dante.
I thought hot takes were last week. I know we're
The
continuing.
bell's right there.
No hot
We can
takes.
start it up right now.
SmackDown Women's title: Asuka, Mandy.
Asuka.
Does Sonya challenge after the match, or are we going to build that on SmackDown?
I think it starts to build. I think we get a little sneak peek maybe on Sunday, but it'll start to build on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Most likely.
I'm hoping Nikki Bella comes back or something. Maybe for Asuka. That'd be interesting, I think.
That's a draw at least.
Exactly.
Or Alexa Bliss.
Alexa goes to SmackDown or something.
I think Asuka probably like lays Mandy out. Sonya comes, picks her up, and they kind
stare
of
down.
Little stare down.
Yeah.
They leave.
I like that.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's something short and
Don't get
sweet.
too cute with it. Just like let it be what it
tease
is.
us
You
a
know?
little.
Yeah.
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 SmackDown tag titles: Usos and the Besties. Instead of predicting the winner, predict who turns on whom.
Shane.
Shane
turns on Miz.
Just give. I would rather Shane to see something different
Yeah.
because Shane hasn't been a heel for a long time.
And just think,
And Miz is in Ohio.
Yeah, they've been building up the fact that they're in Miz's hometown. Miz's father's going to be there.
He's gonna have something to do with it too, Miz.
Yeah.
And he's gonna like
Like
shove Shane or something.
Yeah.
Like Shane
Something happen.
smacks him in his dad in his face, and he does a coast to coast to Miz. Like give it something. If you're gonna pull the switch, give it something.
I want the Mrs. Dad to take it coast to coast.
guys, if this was like 15 years ago, this whole story would end with Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. I just want us all to know that.
It probably would.
You're so right.
It definitely would have, like 15 years ago when they all could have done it.
You're so right. Whoa. Whoa.
Shield against the Breakfast Club. The Shield wins, right? Like, Shield ain't losing this match.
I would hope so. Are you all right, Jesse?
It's the Dogs of War again. They just put together 3 guys who they're bad guys because they're bad.
That's
because we
fine.
need somebody to.
You need
the
someone
Shield
to fight
beat.
the Shield. That's all that's
I'm
happening.
gonna go with the Shield for this one, but I wouldn't doubt it if the other one somehow wins some way.
And they lead to some sort of Shield angle.
Something, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be surprised.
See, the thing is, I think Seth needs some momentum going into Mania, so he'll win.
I'm still taking the Shield.
He would get the pin too.
Yeah. If you're hell bent on having the Raw tag titles on Mania, Dean and Roman aren't doing anything.
Yeah, that's really the only thing
match
you could
there.
do.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Because if Dean stays, then you have all 3 of the Shield have the titles on Raw.
All them red belts, them red leather
Yeah,
belts.
we'll see. Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, WWE Championship.
Sami Zayn's
Bryan.
winning.
Yeah, Sami Zayn's going to be.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I want to pick Owens, but I can't.
I just wonder how much they're gonna put into this match and how much time it's gonna get.
Yeah.
Because if it gets like 15 to 18 minutes, we'll see what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like they're gonna fight again.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, But we'll have to see.
Do you start building the Kofi match?
Some
here?
people have.
No.
I would either do
wait.
it. I would do it the next
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Some people think this is just pure speculation, but they think the WWE Championship is also going to be multi-man, and it'll be Bryan, Owens, Kofi,
And Sammy?
maybe Ali.
I'd be okay with just a
If
triple
they do,
threat.
because if they do a fatal 4-way for the U.S. title and they keep Ali out of the U.S. Championship, they could put him in the WWE.
But the thing there though is like you always want like 2 baby faces, 2 heels, and Owens did a hell of a job as a baby face on SmackDown.
yeah.
I think
would
Daniel
say
Bryan's a
Zayn.
good enough heel
To
To
carry
run with 3
to
again.
run, and he'll have Rowan, and if they do
Harper.
he'll have some help. I don't love the 4-way. I
would-
want Kofi
I
Bryan.
I'd
wouldn't
rather
do a
Kofi Bryan.
4-way, but if I would do a 4-way, it would be Sammy, KO, Kofi, and Daniel Bryan.
I'd prefer like the one-on-one with Kofi, but I wouldn't
want
mind a
the
triple threat
one-on-one
even.
with Kofi.
Owens, Kofi,
Owens, Kofi,
and
Bryan.
Bryan. Yeah.
Look, it doesn't matter who Daniel Bryan's fighting. I'm
Yeah.
down.
It's
I'm
gonna be a
down
good
for
match.
it.
Yeah.
You're right.
Doesn't matter.
You're right.
And then the last match brought up, I think we talked about it already in the first half hour. Becky Charlotte. Becky wins, or
Becky.
Ronda screws her over, and somehow, some way,
Something-
Becky's in a
something
triple
in that
threat.
sense.
Becky's winning the main event of WrestleMania. We kind of know this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What match main events? Because there's 3.
Title match?
It's not going to be the title match. It's either the Shield
Becky and Charlotte,
or
probably.
Becky Charlotte.
Becky Charlotte.
Becky Charlotte should.
Yeah.
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 It has the most momentum right now, and it's going to main event at WrestleMania.
They should sell more people on. Yeah.
They should actually open the show with the Shield. Start the crowd hot. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll probably do that. Or
maybe.
open it with Ricochet, have him do some flips.
Oh, Ricochet. Yeah, you're right.
Some
Probably
flips
the
and
tag
stuff.
match.
Yeah.
You're right. You're
Maybe
right.
with some WWE Championship stuff, because it probably won't main event Mania. It might main event here. It might main event.
makes sense.
Because
And-
I think for Mania, I
yeah.
don't think there's any chance that it main events.
Or the
They've wanted
Universal main
Ronda.
events either.
The women's title
Women's
match
one is main
eventing.
eventing, even if it's not even that hot at that point.
At this point,
it's still
we've
main
done
eventing.
so much with it. We just need,
They
They're
went
main
all in
eventing.
on it, so they got
Yeah.
a main event.
Speaking of going all in on it and having it not pan out, some breaking sad news out of NXT. NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa is going in for neck surgery. Diagnoses put him somewhere between 2 and 6 months. I know the big report out there was 6 to 14.
Yeah,
but
I heard
for
over a
for the
year.
specific surgery that he's getting, the normal recovery is 2 to 6 months.
That's not bad.
That's not that bad.
Yeah.
Either way-
he'll be back when like Ember Moon is back.
Yeah.
and she's been already
I
out.
forgot
It's,
about
so,
that.
it's just
yeah.
kind of unfortunate because
Yeah.
he was healthy all last year,
Such
and he had a
and-
really good
yeah.
run. He had a really, really good run.
Such is the life of the Johnny Gargano feud that they've been building it for
But
2
hey,
years.
I've got something for that. Don't worry
For
about
the
it.
second hour?
Don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, but they've been building that for 2 years, and he can't get like the actual payoff to it.
Yeah.
Because they want to run a whole other year with the Johnny chasing the championship from Ciampa.
Yeah.
It would have felt so good too with Johnny winning the title.
Yeah, it would have
at
been
TakeOver.
really good.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Ciampa was, I mean, from a Ciampa standpoint too, he was so good this year.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
my wrestler of 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
was
had a
must
hell
see
of a year,
TV.
yeah.
He was everything Miz claimed to be when he was WWE the most must see NXT champion. He did not have a bad match with that title.
Yeah.
And
Period.
he improved so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
He
his
improved so much.
promo, his everything, like his character too, the Puppet Master. Oh, he
So
was
good.
so good.
you don't see
He
that
was-
on the main roster.
Yeah.
Even.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, and you won't.
You won't. Yeah.
And just like when he would do his clap on the apron,
Yeah.
he just looked so psychotic.
Yeah.
And just everything about his character was really well
I
done.
told you, Ciampa Dream, I think, is the second greatest match of all time.
Oh my God, it was so good.
Yeah.
There's so much drama going on in that match.
Yeah.
He threw the thing at Mauro.
Mauro, yeah.
It's just so much was going
The
on in that
ending
match.
too, that it plays out that it's at War Games. He drops him on the metal part of the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's what he needs to do to beat Dream.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good.
Really, really good. Really,
So,
really good.
NXT tapes again next
I
Wednesday.
can't wait.
I already have my Twitter notifications up. I'm ready
Oh
for
my God.
what happens here. Cleared my schedule.
Yeah,
my entire evening is
Spoil-
free.
I'm reading those.
I
spoilers.
have
We have
to-
spring break, so
That's true.
I'll be just like you.
Yeah.
But we gotta talk about NXT because that show
What a
was so
show.
fire.
Yeah.
That show was fire.
Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic showed just started up first round matches. All 4 first rounders were last night. Let's talk about that opener real quick. Alistair and Ricochet against Fabian Eichner and Marty Barty.
Oh my goodness!
Holy hell!
Oh my goodness!
I thought this was the best match on the show.
I'd beg to differ.
It's either this and the main event.
Yeah,
but
it was. Oh,
this
so
match
good.
was
I like the ending. How he was about to combo Alistair and he just hit him with the black mask. I'm like, hey, that's fine.
I love the black mask now, where it just comes out of like kind of nowhere, but you kind of know like what kind of sets up for it.
Yeah.
I just start laughing when he hit it.
The one he hit on Nakamura like a week ago, that was brutal.
Yeah.
Wow.
The one good thing they're doing with Black on the main roster is that black
move,
mask is very
That move is
protected.
deadly.
Yeah.
That move is really deadly.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Marcel Bartel was a hell of a technical wrestler on the Indies. I don't know if you watched much of him, but he very, very.
I haven't.
I watch everything, so I've watched a lot of him.
They're really good together.
Very good. Fabian
Very good
Eichner,
together.
one of the most underrated talents that they have signed. He just does stuff that you wouldn't expect him to do, and they mesh so well as a team.
Yeah.
A hell of a first round match there.
Yeah, the second match we don't need to talk about it.
And Forgotten Sons beat
Who cares?
Birch and Lork.
Yeah,
Birch
only
and
Lorcan.
Lorcan. Yeah.
Lorcan.
Who cares?
Yeah, whatever.
Shout out to Oni Lorcan being in 2 tournaments at
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I was watching. I'm like, isn't he in the cruiserweight tournament?
What a guy. He's so
The third match was
underrated
good
too.
though.
Street Profits and Mustache.
Really
Yeah.
good.
Street Profits are the current Evolve Tag Team Champions, and
Yeah.
they're having great matches over there. So it's good to finally see them show up and show out on TV.
I wish they'd use him more.
Yeah.
And they
They're
got
so
time.
good.
They got time
Yeah.
to showcase what they can
Yeah.
do.
Tyler Bate versus Montez Ford is a singles match, would blow the roof off any building, I think.
Yeah.
They're 2 of the most explosive wrestlers.
Montez Ford is
Montez
something
Ford's
else.
money.
Oh my!
Yeah.
He's gonna have a He's not gonna be in the Street Profits forever.
No.
When
Oh, no.
he has his singles run,
Yeah.
it's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has to be like a rich heel though. Like I think that'd be kind of interesting.
I love Mustache Mountain.
Yeah, they're
I
awesome.
just, I
They're
just
awesome.
love Mustache
Yeah.
Mountain. I just
Yeah,
think
don't
they're,
join the club.
I
Yeah.
just think they're fantastic.
Tyler
Yeah.
Bates especially.
Tyler Bate's my favorite wrestler in the world.
I
Tyler
think
Bates
Like, bar none. Him and Andrade are my top 2 favorite
So
wrestlers.
talented.
I love the name too.
Mustache Mountain.
Mustache
I've never watched a wrestler like Tyler Bate where I sit there every time he wrestles and say, this guy is so effing good.
Yeah, especially the match
Yeah.
at Takeover
Every
Brooklyn
time.
4. That was my favorite one. Still, the
Yeah,
tag
my
match.
favorite match
Yeah.
of him is him and Pete Dunne at Chicago. The first
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
15 minutes of just awesomeness.
So good.
Yeah.
So
And then the main event, DIY versus Undisputed Era. Just,
And I
know,
like that it was
First
O'Reilly
round.
and Fish. I like
Yeah.
because I think they're a better tag team. Than,
Roddy's too good of a singles guy, too, to like kind of just keep him in the tag scene. And you're not going to make Bobby Fish the singles guy of Undisputed if you have
No.
Roger Strong.
that match was really
That was
good.
very good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the new DIY graphics coming up
Yeah.
and the theme song playing to get
Yeah.
you chill.
Yeah, they just stand at the top of the ramp. He's like, look, I got it coming for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good match.
I know
Yeah.
the production team. You know, I get this all set up.
So with Ciampa's injury, all but likely he's out of TakeOver against Johnny.
He
Has to be.
Has to be.
Yeah.
How do you finagle around that now?
I'm not going to speak on that yet.
Okay.
But I'll get to
Well,
it.
is next week?
Next week is the tapings.
Next week
week-
NXT is when they lose.
Is when they lose, and spoiler alert, you're going to find out next week. Doesn't matter. The lasting image of this feud is going to be Johnny beating up Ciampa and saying he's coming for the title.
Yeah, because Ciampa tried to throw him into the Titantron again. Or
Yeah,
something
and then
like
Johnny reversed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I can't wait to watch
Yeah.
that.
if it's me, I think you just do Cole and Gargano. They've been running it on the loops this weekend, and everyone said it was fantastic. So Cole, we had the whole Undisputed is going to win all the gold thing, so he could get a jump start on that.
Hey, come on, man. Don't spoil my thing.
Oh, sorry. Then Gargano obviously has a claim to it. I don't think Gargano wins at this point because the whole
He doesn't need to.
The whole point was for him to beat Ciampa.
What I would do is have them play up the injury, say that Johnny caused the injury, and then have him go against Cole. Gargano doesn't win. They keep him down, though, until Ciampa comes back, and then they have, even if it's not for the title, they have their final
blow off.
SummerSlam weekend or something. Or Survivor
like that.
Series.
You
yeah.
can't. They probably will, but I don't think you can pull Johnny or Tommaso up without finishing this story. in
Them
NXT.
fighting in Toronto at TakeOver SummerSlam weekend would be a hoot because that's where they won the tag titles.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I think that's what they have to be planning for.
Yeah,
like that's the next
long-term
big,
wise. Yeah,
that's the next big blow off. I don't think you can pull them up to the main roster without finishing this story.
They kind of got to be with each other.
Yeah,
the main roster.
Yeah. I don't think giving even then if you want to like do some. Oh, I'm fantasy booking now, but if you like call up Undisputed Era and like just have them run roughshod over the WWE, and they're just like, whatever, we don't care about these NXT titles, we want the main roster titles. If every title's vacant going into Toronto, then
That'd
you do
nuts.
Gargano Ciampa for the title match, and then you do like other guys for like you literally just have a stacked roster of vacant championships. Oh God,
I don't know if they did, if it came across on TV, but I know Adam Cole came out when Riddle and Dream were.
That wasn't on the taping. Well, that wasn't yesterday.
It wasn't on TV. But
I think that's next week.
Okay.
That was probably the plan for the triple threat for the North American title.
All I have to do is if they bump Cole up, they just put Roddy in that triple threat match.
Or just keep it a one-on-one.
Just keep it
one-on-one.
Yeah, Riddle and Dream.
That would be fine.
That's cool.
That's
yeah,
fine.
that's good by me. That might be a decent match. Maybe.
Decent.
Guys, it's a joke. Okay. If you know anything about me, I love Velveteen Dream. I swear by it.
I knew the sarcasm.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
It's okay, Jesse.
I was looking at my phone.
Velveteen is actually.
And then I was like, what?
No, I think I've said to Dante before, when I think Velveteen Dream is all said and done, I think he will be the greatest wrestler of all time.
Yes.
Because his age, his workability, and his promos already at like 24 years old.
He's already kind of up there, but he turns 24 in August too.
When he is done, he will be.
That's crazy.
And Cena's already endorsed him and said like,
he's the guy.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right.
Someone asked him at a Comic-Con, I think last year, he's like, all right, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Velveteen Dream, who would you rather work? And he's like, Dream. He's like, it's no-brainer.
That's nuts. I love it.
Yeah, Velveteen's amazing.
On the 205 scale, they ran the second part of the first round of the Cruiserweight tournament. Oni Lorcan beat Humberto Carrillo, which was interesting because Oni Lorcan's in NXT.
Good.
I don't like
that kid.
Humberto?
No, I don't
what
like
the
him.
hell?
I don't know. I don't like him.
He's good.
They had such a good thing because what they're doing right now is Gulak and Gallagher are kind of like trying to mold him into them.
Yeah.
And so they're cheerleading for him. So during the match, they were cutting away backstage, and Gallagher and Gulak were wearing shirts with plain white shirts with Humberto's face on it, cheering for him. It was so good. It was so good.
Something about him just, I don't know.
He needs
to get used to him, I think.
He needs new music, definitely. New music and new gear, because it's just not anything.
He just came out of nowhere for me, and I was like, okay. I have to just get used to him, I think. That's all it is. But he's a talented kid. I'll give him that.
Don't take Oni winning this first round match as him winning the tournament, because like last year, Roderick Strong was one win away from WrestleMania in this Cruiserweight tournament. Doesn't mean that he was going to do anything. So I still think Tony Nese is the guy. They've been building him up for like 8 months now. I don't think they're going to stop now. Mike Kanellis beat Colby Carino in a squash match. It's funny to see Steve Carino's son.
He'll probably get a title shot like after Mania.
Yeah,
like baby. They're building him up.
I think Tony Nese is gonna be a babyface after this Murphy feud. Yeah. He's not gonna go into Mania as a babyface, but he's gonna eventually turn face.
Yep.
So him versus Kanellis is good. It's good enough for a TV thing. So
yeah, the finals are going to be Cedric probably versus Tony.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Cedric beat Tozawa and kind of
that was a good match.
Yeah, it was good.
I don't mind Tony Nese, but I'm just not sold on him all the way.
Don't worry.
Oh, no, he's really good though.
He's very good, but I can't see him being
good.
a face. That's the only thing right now.
We'll see in due time.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I don't like 205. I don't know.
205 has been really good.
It has, but I don't know.
Yeah, the whole thing. Like we were talking about this before we went on the air about Cedric. After you win the Cruiserweight title, there's not much else you could do on the brand besides just do matches, and that's why I think I don't care about Cedric as much anymore, if at all.
Yeah, he already had his run with the title. Like, what else?
Yeah, what else do you do?
In all honesty,
but there's no call up.
I will put him on NXT. I'll put Cedric on NXT.
Yeah, why not?
That'd be cool.
You should.
Because he was on NXT when he was with, I think he was with Andrade when they in the tag team
the
classic.
2016 Dusty Classic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just put him on NXT and he could have good matches with so many people.
Yeah.
Up there, down there, wherever you want to go with.
Triple H has talked about this in like press conferences and stuff, that he wants to see more fluidity between NXT brands and main roster and NXT.
I'm cool with
that. Again, you have all these people contractually obligated to your company. It doesn't mean that they're signed to one brand. If you want to throw them around, like having Lorcan and Birch work NXT and NXT UK as like their tag teams for both, and same thing with European Union, like. That's fine. You're getting the most out of your wrestlers. Yeah.
See, I love like the contractually like signed to brands thing. Like I like that, but WWE hasn't done that.
Right.
So there's no point in like building up. Charlotte and Becky
are SmackDown,
but they're on Raw more than they are on SmackDown.
Week. Yeah. Every week.
So like if it's one thing if like they're like, oh, you're contractually signed to this brand. They haven't done that.
And look at Kevin Owens too. He was on Raw, and all of a sudden he got out of his contract.
Matt Hardy, he was on Raw, and he just shows up on SmackDown.
I love Matt Hardy faking a retirement to get away from Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't deal with this MFR anymore.
He
like
was wearing his like 1990s shirt.
Yeah, he was like, listen, I'm a new person.
This Hardy Boys is hilarious.
Hey, they're going to get a title match.
Them and Usos at Mania.
Oh,
it's going to be their swan song because you got brother versus brother. Brother team versus brother team.
And that's it for the Hardys then.
Yeah. I thought you were going Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy. I was like,
hey, that WrestleMania match was very good.
There's your first bout Hall of Fame next year. Who knows?
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah,
that's true.
There you go.
And then Christian's the only person in that like little triumvirate that didn't get in the Hall of Fame.
He'll go in mid-level one time.
I'm not a Christian fan, so I couldn't.
He'll be like that DDP induction where like. Oh, yeah, he should have been in before. But yeah, that's fine.
When he gets announced, you're like, wait, he's not in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a Christian fan, so I can care less.
Anything else about this week?
It was a good week for wrestling.
Yeah. All right. So that was what's hip, what's happening in WWE currently this week. After the top of the hour, we're going to be back and fantasy booking for people / stables. From WrestleMania to SummerSlam. I'll explain more at the flip side of this break. Keep it locked here on Brave New Radio. You're listening to No Rest Holds for the Weary.
WPSC, Wayne, New Jersey. On the radio, 88.7 FM. Online, gobrave.org. A tune-in radio station. Part of the William Patterson Broadcast Network.
Broadcasting live from Hobart Hall in Wayne, New Jersey.
This is
The Innovative.
I think they're really unique.
The Fearless.
They have awesome variety.
The Kick-Ass.
I love Brave New Radio.
The Sensational.
I've never heard anything like it.
This is the one and only Brave New Radio.
When it gets dark, you jump the wall, I'll find a place to park. Kill the angels if they're keeping guard. How do I stop when you don't know what to say? No, I don't know what to say. Choice to move yourself along and find better. And I hope that's where you are. Yeah, I know that's where you a doppelganger with a telling scar. I saw the universe hidden in your heart. Wish I told you this before it got too dark. Where do you start when you know it has to end?
I know what to say. Welcome back to No Rest Holds for the Weary here on Brave New Radio. You're listening to No Rest Holds for the Weary. I'm stalling because everyone else on the show started laughing at that. I'm Dante Vacatoro. I got Stephen Clark, Samori Rose, and Jesse Norman in studio.
God. That was
good, right?
Really funny.
That's good, right?
Look, yeah. You've done some funny things since I met you. That might be the funniest thing.
Yeah, I agree. I've known Dante for close to 4 years now.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yeah. So, that was, I don't know what to say by bringing the Horizon off of Amo. I'm still rocking with Amo. Fantasy booking time. Woo. That's what we decided on this week instead of hot takes. Although hot takes would have made sense because it's really cold outside.
It's cold.
Yeah.
Woo, spring break.
Yeah.
Can't wait to go out in that 20-degree weather.
So here's what we're going to do. Each of us selected either a wrestler or a stable to book from WrestleMania to SummerSlam. We're going to give you the floor. You're going to talk about how you get them from point A to point B, what happens on the way. Then we're going to just talk about those wrestlers in particular. We're going to have a few questions about them. That sound good?
Yeah.
That sounds good. Who would like to go first?
I guess since it's NXT and they're the lowest, and everybody's doing main roster. No, they're still the A brand. I guess I'll go first.
All right, Samori Rose, who do you have?
I have the Undisputed Era.
All right,
I'm not
going
to name all of them, but you know who they are. So, thank you, Ciampa, but not really thank you. I feel for you. Making him being hurt made this easier for me. So, there's either going to be a tournament at TakeOver New York. I think that would be much of a cluster if they did do that. So, I'm going to do it before. So, Adam Cole in the first round is going to take on Punishment Martinez because he fought him during the tapings and he lost, I believe. He won or lost. Either
he beat Punishment. Yeah.
He beat him, but then Punishment beat him up after.
Yeah.
Because Dream came out, whatever. And Adam Cole is just going for the NXT title now because it's vacant and he feels he could take it. And he deserves it too.
Agree.
So in the second round, he's going to take on Keith Lee. He's going to beat him. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close. Like he's barely going to beat him. Then in the third and final round at TakeOver New York, it's going to be him and Johnny Gargano. And it's going to be an awesome match. They're going to give him about 25 to 30 minutes, and he'll beat Gargano, and he'll do it by himself. That's going to be like a lingering thing throughout this. He'll do it by himself. So the aftermath is Roddy's going to enter a feud with Dream, because Dream's going to beat Matt Riddle at TakeOver New York. And the thing with Roddy is, the overlying thing with him is he wants to be a champion. That's the whole reason he joined the Undisputed Era. So he's going to lose the Dream at TakeOver. I don't know what it's going to be. It's during Money in the Bank weekend, I believe, or one of those. It's during one of them.
They're in California somewhere,
yeah,
I think.
So whatever. So TakeOver California. Or call it that for now.
This is TakeOver New York coming up, so why not?
Yeah. So he'll lose the Dream there. And Cole's going to start a feud with Matt Riddle because Gargano's going to fall down the line. Cole's going to win. Cole's in the tag team, they're going to really struggle. So O'Reilly and Fish, they're really going to struggle since they lost this week. They're just going to go on a very bad losing streak. They're like going to lose to literally everybody. Like anybody they face, they're going to lose to. And that's going to cause some tension, like a lot of tension. And Adam Cole's going to be like, hey, I'm the only person really doing something. I'm the only person that has the title when we're supposed to have this gold rush. What's going on? So that's what's going to cause a little friction. Then sometimes Adam Cole's going to be coming out with himself. Then like the era's going to follow him after him. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, like I said, Dream's going to beat Roddy. Roddy's going to be like, hey, I can beat you, Cole. I know I can. Ooh. And we're going to get a little friction there. And Adam Cole is like, I don't want to fight you. You really don't deserve it. You're not, what have you done? Like, you joined us to be a champion. Prove that you're a champion on your own. That's going to cause some friction. Then Kyle O'Reilly is going to be like, hey, guys, relax.
That's what Kyle O'Reilly's like, I need this.
He's like, hey, Adam, I beat you before in ROH. He's not going to say ROH.
Right.
He's like, I beat you before, so maybe I deserve it. Then Bobby Fish is going to be like, all right.
I'm a fish.
I'm a fish. We're still a group. We need to relax.
An old, wrinkly fish.
So, as this riff is going on, this is going towards maybe the summer, so TakeOver Toronto.
Yes.
So, everybody's not getting the job done. The tag team, they're going to get like a little hot streak. They're going to start beating everybody. Then they're going to get another match with the War Raiders. And the War Raiders are like kind of tweeners now. Mm-hmm. So, and Era's not going to be face, but they're going to get cheered. If that makes sense. They still do like heelish things, but they're going to get cheered. So, let's see. So it's going to be Riddle and Cole again at TakeOver Toronto with Johnny Gargano for the triple threat.
Okay.
Then Dream beat Roddy at Cali's TakeOver, whatever we're going to call it. Then going into Toronto, he's like, you don't deserve another shot. I already beat you. He's like, I'm the Dream, and I'm that good. So Dominic Dijakovic and Keith Lee are like, hey, we want the title. It looks nice. So that's going to set up the Fatal 4-Way at Toronto with Roddy and those three. Then the tag team, they're going to fight the War Raiders. And this time, they'll win because it's Fish and O'Reilly, like the actual tag team. They'll win, but Roddy's going to help them. And then Roddy wins the North American title. Is like in a cheap way because Keith Lee like does a lot of work and Dijakovic does a lot of work too, but he'll win in a cheap way. Then at the end of it, they're all going to help Adam Cole win, retain his title. Mm-hmm. Then that's how you start the gold rush.
Okay.
Cool. I'm with it.
I like it.
And then like the aftermath to that aftermath, I would say they would hold the titles till maybe War Games or TakeOver. What would that be? Tampa? If it's in Tampa,
the Mania one.
The Mania one.
The press conference is at 11 o'clock for Tampa.
Yeah, so they'll hold it till then. Somebody will take the titles off of them. I didn't get that far, and then they'll go up to SmackDown.
I like it
and have fun. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I'd like to see him have a long reign with all the titles. I think it'd be.
That's why I gave Cole the title. That's why I gave it to him now, so he could have at least a year run with it.
What's the word? Like dynasty? What's the right word to use?
It wouldn't be a dynasty.
Like a monarch, not a monarchy.
I get what you're trying to say. Where they all have control.
Yeah, they run everything.
It would be like an empire.
There you go. Yeah,
empire. That's the right word.
The Undisputed Empire.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love if they changed the name.
The UE.
The Undisputed Empire. That'd be nice.
So I'll open up the floor for everyone here. We touched about it a little bit in that first hour. How much of Ciampa's injury, how much does that benefit the Undisputed Era?
Oh,
a lot.
So much. Because now, if you take Ciampa away, and then in retrospect, you kind of have to move Johnny Gargano over. Velveteen's already in the North American title picture. And Ricochet and Black are moved up. Who's your top guys? Undisputed Era.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
And like maybe if you move over Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
I hope they do.
Like
I want them to move him.
Yeah.
That's like
officially to NXT.
Most notable guys too in NXT now because apparently Vince wanted all the best guys. The best guys that are left is the Undisputed Era as well.
Yeah.
So most talented, most prestigious, and most marketable are all the Undisputed Era, and now they're at the top of the card.
And I like how Smorey actually said they lose it at War Games. So I can see all the titles being defended inside the War Games.
that would be
That's
cool.
where me and Jesse were talking about earlier.
And
that would be cool.
we were
That'd be
talking
cool.
about that a couple months ago, where we were like, Undisputed gets all the titles. They hold on to them for a really long time. And mine, the only one they couldn't get was Pete Dunne's UK Championship. No matter how much they tried
That'll
to
be
go
Walters
after
by
it.
the time. Though.
Yeah, it's Walters.
This was months ago, but like they couldn't get Pete Dunne's, so they got so desperate to hold that belt that they put all their titles on the line for just the chance of getting Pete Dunne's.
That'd be perfect.
But then they lose, and they lose all their belts. Then they kind of go through a renaissance, and then they have to get called up and stuff. Yeah.
I like it.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what are the? In retrospect, if Ciampa didn't get hurt, what were they really all of them going to be doing?
Probably had to wait
Cole
until
would have been the only one on the New York card, most likely.
Yeah.
In the triple threat with him, Riddle, and Velveteen, but he's going to get moved up, and then he'll be the only one on the card.
Yeah,
so.
theoretically, if Ciampa was good, Gargano would beat him, and then Cole would probably be the next contender.
Yeah, I think this just pushes Undisputed Era's timeline up.
Yeah.
For the most part.
And the whole thing with me, why I picked them, because I originally had Drew McIntyre. I picked them because Cole's been losing a lot. I don't know if you guys have been noticing.
Yeah,
he has.
They've all been losing a lot recently. So,
Hope they don't break up.
No.
No, I think a big reason why they're doing it too, and I may be reading this completely wrong, is even though they're losing, they're still the number one attraction. And like they're still like, even through losses, it still feels like they're so dominant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like they don't need to win to be like this main event kind of thing. Like all right, and this isn't the same thing, but like John Cena comes back and loses 200 matches straight. John Cena's still a main event guy.
Yeah.
Like that's what the Undisputed Era is now already. Like it's like, oh yeah, they can lose whatever, but at big matches, you're gonna take the Undisputed Era to win 9 times out of 10.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. I like it, Tamori. Thanks for clapping.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Who wants to go next?
Let me have it.
All right, who you got?
Let me have it. Got my big boy Kevin Owens.
All right, the floor is
The
yours.
fat guy that does flips.
Oh, my favorite. That's why I picked it because, fat guy. I can't do flips, but he can do flips.
Have you tried doing flips?
I can do a front flip.
That's
I can do a senton.
That's a
would
lot
like
more
to
than
see
I
it.
could.
Yeah.
So
I can do a senton, but I can't do no moonsault nonsense that he does, which is so talented. But anyways, so a big thing with Kevin Owens. Well, I did this yesterday, but the thing that struck me that he said on Tuesday was that I have no friends. So he's saying that he has nobody left. Whatever. We'll forget Mustafa Ali for a second, but in the weeks building up to Mania, Sami Zayn comes back and wants to be he's still acting in his heel persona, but wants to be like buddy, like, oh, Kevin Owens, you have a friend in me, whatever, like some Toy Story nonsense. You have a friend in me.
Story.
But so I'm gonna have both of them in Andre the Giant Battle Royal going into Mania. They're both not in a championship match or a main card match. So I have the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And then the weeks going into it saying one of us are going to win no matter what, me and you till the end, blah, 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 all that friend nonsense. So the final 3, we're in the Battle Royal. The final 3, I have Owens, Zayn, and I have Ricochet for now. I'm trying to think of a big name that everybody likes, whatever. So it's them 3, and all of a sudden Zayn eliminates Owens out of nowhere. And then you have the shocked look on Owens on the outside. You have the smirk from Sami Zayn. So then the crowd's getting behind Ricochet because they want him to win because they don't want Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn wins the Battle Royal. Okay? So you're implementing Sami as the definite heel in the situation and Owens as the face. I just had Ricochet in there just because he's a face and everyone seems to like him. But, so the SmackDown after Mania, Zayn was in the ring saying, I used him to get to that spot. I was never his friend, all that nonsense. He was the weak link in our group. He held me down from being successful in this company, successful in Ring of Honor, successful everywhere around the world. And then, they have their brawls, whatever. The nonsense, how WWE likes to do all that. And how he said how Owens took forever to get to WWE. I got him into this company. And he talks about, his wife, his kids, something to get Owens pissed. So they have, I'm going to say the Saudi Arabia show's Greatest Royal Rumble 2.
okay.
Number 2.
Yeah, sure.
Let's hope not. But
I hope not, but I'm going to say it is for now. and they're both in there, and Owens eliminates Zayn in that match. But then Zayn comes back in and eliminates Owens, so they're keeping the story going. So then I have, feud still going on. Backlash, you're going to have a one-on-one match, and then a double countout. So we're keeping this feud going. Blood feud between these two. The following weeks, there'll be brawls between each two. And then we're leading up to Money in the Bank now. And they're going to have finally a one-on-one match to get a qualifying spot into the Money in the Bank ladder match. They have a pretty good match, I have. And Zayn kind of cheats to win, but match gets restarted. Pop-up powerbomb, KO wins, and KO's in the Money in the Bank. Sami Zayn loses. But not in a clean-ish way. Whoops, I lost my spot. But sort of ref was down, and Sami was trying to get him in, and pop-up powerbomb, KO's in. Next week, there's a number one contender fatal four-way match for Kofi Kingston's WWE Championship match at Money in the Bank.
Already speaking to me here, Steven.
So I don't have all I have and all the guys in the match, which is bad. But I have obviously, it's more of a Sami kind of fantasy looking, but it's both of them, I'd say. I have Sami Zayn winning this fatal four-way. So it's Kofi versus Sami Zayn, which actually would be a pretty good match if you think about it, at Money in the Bank for the title. And I have that going on mid-show, and the Money in the Bank match being the main event of the show. So at Money in the Bank, it's Kofi versus Sami. Sami wins. Sami is your new WWE champion. Later on in the night, you guessed it, Kevin Owens wins the Money in the Bank ladder match. So I have a rematch going for Sami versus Kofi in a Falls Count Anywhere match at Extreme Rules. So then I have Owens having his briefcase ready at Extreme Rules and him going to attack Zayn, trying to cash in, and he actually hits Kofi, and then Sami boots him out of the ring or whatever, or backstage, wherever, his Falls Count Anywhere match. Sami gets the win and leaves as WWE champion still. So there's your end of your Kofi situation. No, probably not, but that's the end of the Kofi. I think Sami's champion, doesn't have a contender, and Kevin Owens is still Mr. Money in the Bank. So then I have that going till SummerSlam. I have since Kofi complains probably for a few weeks. So I have at SummerSlam, WWE Champion Sami Zayn defends against Kofi and AJ Styles in a triple threat. Halfway through the match, you hear Kevin Owens' theme. It hits. Mid-match, becomes a fatal four-way. Owens pins AJ Styles to become WWE Champion. Kind of going back to the United States title feud. Owens leaves SummerSlam as WWE Champion, and then we can take it. Either he pins AJ or Sami. I didn't really clarify that too much, but Owens leaves SummerSlam as WWE Champion, and Sami's distraught. That's what I have.
And it ends with Sami being sad.
As always.
As always, and by Big Boy winning the big gold.
I like it. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. I'm out of breath.
That would be good.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't put all the little details and stuff they can put into the feud, but I would think having the roles reversed from having Owens, because we saw the good face work that Kevin Owens can do.
Yeah.
And we know the good heel work that Sami can do. Having the roles reversed, even though we've seen this feud a couple times, having the roles reversed would make it feel fresh and different, I felt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
It would be a better version of Seth versus Dean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The latest one.
Yes.
Seth and Dean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we'll open the floor here. Where is Sami Zayn's ceiling coming back?
Mid card. I don't think they put him in that. I think the ship has sailed for Sami to be a main event player.
Well, I think
it depends.
Not
where he's at.
in my opinion, but I think in WWE's opinion.
If he's on SmackDown,
If he's on SmackDown, he's in the main event picture. But if they put him back on Raw,
he's in the
he'll be
mid-card. I agree with that 100%. This is all on SmackDown, by the way, too. Yeah.
But this
SmackDown is better for him if he wants to be in the main
SmackDown's
event.
going to look totally different after the shakeup.
Yeah, you
Because
got to think about that because they're going to Fox.
They're going to Fox.
They're going to
and
have some big time names on.
A lot of people think they're going to put the biggest stars from Raw into SmackDown.
So who?
So Roman Reigns,
Ronda.
They might keep Rollins on Raw, but they're probably going to move over. Even I've heard Braun, all the what I've said to Dante jokingly is I think SmackDown is going to become Raw and Raw is going to become SmackDown. I think they'll just like reverse spots, and Raw will become not the show,
the technical
but
show?
the technical show with the more wrestling is what I think's going to happen. That's the problem. Like, we can say, like, oh, if you put him on SmackDown, he probably works a little bit better. But I think the landscape of SmackDown changes.
It depends how the
after
shakeup
Mania.
looks, though.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I think it changes a lot.
One thing that I very much liked, and I did say it, WWE champion Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
With the new blue strap title
You
that
think?
we got previewed.
Do you think
I
that blue
I don't
strap
want-
is?
It's because I feel like if Kofi wins the title at Mania, then they're not. He's going to be holding this cardboard title.
Right, so he's gonna get.
He'll burn it,
and then
he'll
he'll
get
burn
the
it
OG back.
on
the hemp.
SmackDown. He'll burn the hemp. There you go.
Yeah.
Fun night for everyone in Brooklyn on the SmackDown after Mania. But he'll then reveal the blue title. I think.
I don't like the blue title.
I don't know.
I would like the blue if there's more of this brand split thing. Like,
It
it's
makes
just
no
like,
sense for
I
it.
need more brand pride for there to be like colored titles.
Yeah.
You know, I guess it's also easier to identify when they look so similar. Like the tag titles.
Yeah.
They're literally replicas, just the straps are different
Right.
colors.
Yeah.
Like the Universal title was all like you could tell which one's which.
Yeah.
That's why I like
Yeah.
the black on the WWE title. And I feel like that title should always be like that. Like that's how the
It doesn't need to be
Yeah, I don't think
gaudy
they
like that.
They
Yeah.
shouldn't make it like. I don't think they should make it a brand thing because I think the WWE title is so above brands
Yeah.
at this point that it's
it
the
hasn't
most
been booked like it,
coveted-
but
It's
the truth.
The only way they could work with the blue strap, it's so convoluted it shouldn't even happen. If they wanted to freely trade the WWE champion for the Universal champion, they could just as easily like have them flip brands. They hold the same title that the other guy had, but it's
Blue.
Yeah.
blue or
The
red.
regular black title would be on Raw. And then
No, what I'm saying is like say the WWE title was blue and the Universal title was red.
Okay.
Again, like I don't
so
want.
like if I was the Universal champion, they switched me over to SmackDown, I would take the WWE.
You take the blue title, and it would still be the Universal Championship,
It'd
but
just be-
you'd be using the blue strap instead of the red, and WWE title would be red, which is so convoluted and
Yeah,
stupid.
that's so-
It
They used
should-
to, well,
Oh
they
my
used to
God.
like
There's
kind of
no
do that.
reason.
It was weird in the drafts because like when one champion was drafted, you knew the other had to be drafted.
and you can
'cause
only
there was
do
no way.
you can only do that now for the IC and US titles.
Yeah.
because
Really, yeah.
the other titles have the damn name on it. It's the Raw,
exactly.
SmackDown,
SmackDown Live
titles.
WWE champion. It's and like I don't like I would like to have the belts on the same level. They're not. I don't think the Universal Championship.
Universal title's cursed.
I don't think anybody cares about the Universal
Unfortunately, it is.
Championship.
Yeah.
Mostly because Brock's had it
for the better part of 2 years.
Ever since Owens lost it.
Yeah, since Owens lost it, really. I mean, so we're so used to not having it
Yeah, it's
that
weird
it's
to
kind
see
of
it.
just like, yeah, it's there, but
it's
it's
weird
not
when
there.
it's there.
They're like, oh,
So,
hello.
Yeah, like if anything, like the lesser title, like the World Heavyweight Championship was the lesser title back in the day,
Always.
but it was like the working championship. Like when you had the World Heavyweight Championship, you were working almost every single night, or you had like really good pay-per-view matches, and the WWE Championship was, you know, the big marketable guy.
It was the storyline title. If you're talking about like,
it's like
like if you're talking about when I think you're talking about like the Ruthless Aggression.
yeah,
like
exactly.
Post
Yeah, like
Ruthless.
growing up when we watched.
Yeah,
was
the
probably like,
WWE title was like the storyline title.
it was the Cena title
when
and
Edge
stuff
was
like
slapping
that. Yeah.
Cena's dad and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like the World Heavyweight title was like the Undertaker,
Batista.
the Batista,
The Great Khali.
I always think when I think World Heavyweight title, I always think Batista.
No, I think of
I think
the Reign of
Edge.
Terror. But
I think of the Reign of Terror too, but Edge
That's
too,
neither here nor there.
another guy
Edge
like
is the one I think of always.
yeah, I think it's more of a working title.
Don't forget Jeff Hardy held that. Jeff Hardy and Punk too in the later
Yeah,
years.
that was
in
a
the
great,
later Ruthless Aggression years.
Like it was a really I like the World Heavyweight title and I like its history.
Me too.
As of right
that belt's just really nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, as
nice
of
looking.
right now, I would have never gotten rid of it and just, kept the Universal title in the back.
And Raw, that should have been Raw's title.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like the Universal belt. I don't like the
It grew on me.
design.
It grew on me.
I don't like.
I don't
fact
like the
that Brock's
design
held
because
it
it's a
for so
carbon
long.
copy of the WWE title.
Yeah,
and it should be
but
different.
That's what WWE's done with a lot of stuff. Even the women's championship is kind of carbon copies, but they're
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, the
I
women's
like, I
titles are
like
very
the white
nice.
straps.
I like
white
the white straps
SmackDown
are
one.
nice.
SmackDown one's my favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the white straps with the blues is
Oh,
very
it
nice.
looks really nice.
Yeah, so 2 down, 2 to go. After the break, we got Jesse and myself Jesse, who do you have again?
Kofi Kingston.
All right. Right up my alley. And I have the Riot Squad, all three of them. So, keep it tight.
Boy.
Keep it locked here on Brave New Radio. You're listening to No Rest Holds for the Weary. Time for our final contractually obligated song break.
One and only.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the final half hour of No Rest Holds for the Weary here on Brave New Radio. Dante Vacatoro, Samori Rose, Jesse Norman, Stephen Clark. Got through two of our fantasy booking hurdles. Thank you very much, gentlemen. That was a lot of fun there. A lot of fun. So we have two more. We have two more to go. So, Jesse, you said you had quite a few words to say.
Quite a few words here. So I've got Kofi Kingston. So at Mania, here we go. We have Kofi and Bryan. They have a thrilling match going about 20 minutes. They end up on the top turnbuckle. Kofi reverses a suplex and he pushes Bryan down, right? Bryan lands on his back. Kofi climbs up and gathers himself right as he's about to go for a splash. The same splash that he did at Elimination Chamber. But he hesitates. He gathers, he looks like he's going to jump, he waits a second. Then he jumps. Bryan moves out of the way. Kofi, so exhausted, rises up. He gets hit with the knee, and he's pinned by Bryan. So exhausted, both the New Day and Harper and Rowan, who I'm calling the Straight Planet Society, come down. They aren't feuding. They don't even look at each other. They just go pick up their guy, and they bring him backstage. So, SmackDown after WrestleMania, it's a big event. So they do the New Day get a match with the Usos for the titles, and Big E and Xavier win. Kofi seems a little down, but when they win, he starts to get excited, celebrating as they walk back down the ramp, until Daniel Bryan walks by very smugly with the Straight Planet Society. They don't even look at the New Day. They don't even think they're worth their time. So Road to Money in the Bank, Kofi does not seem like himself. He seems very serious, like something in him's changed, but when he's around the New Day, he's still kind of, still happy, but he can't win any one-on-one matches. Kofi and Mustafa Ali have a match to decide who will face Bryan at Backlash. Kofi loses after Bryan comes out. He stands on top of the ramp looking down at Kofi, straight-faced. Before Ali rolls him up for the win, Kofi stares at Bryan on the ramp. Bryan just shakes his head and mouths the words "weak" at him. The New Day come down to try to console him. Kofi leaves through the crowd. He doesn't want to see anybody. At Backlash, the New Day steal the show in a match against the Usos. Kofi isn't at ringside. He's nowhere to be seen all night. End of the night, he comes out, just distracts Bryan a little bit, but Mustafa Ali still can't pull it out, and Bryan wins. With Money in the Bank in sight, Kofi demands to be put into the Money in the Bank match.
I love how you wrote this like a book.
I did.
I have bullet points here.
Birds would be proud. Kofi demands to be put into the match, the Money in the Bank match, but Bryan wants him one-on-one for trying to take away the People's Champion. On SmackDown, he tells him he wants him that night on SmackDown, telling Kofi if Bryan can beat him, he'll give him a title match. He doesn't even need the Money in the Bank contract. Kofi loses, leading him to demand a match with Daniel Bryan at Money in the Bank for a 3-on-3, New Day versus Straight World Society. If Kofi wins, he gets one more shot at the title at Extreme Rules. But if he loses, the New Day will be disbanded and the tag team titles will go to Harper and Rowan, who at this point, they've had 2 matches with the New Day and haven't even come close to beating them. The New Day is just such a well-oiled machine. Harper and Rowan can't beat them. So Daniel Bryan is pitching this to them as, this is my gift to you. I can win for you and give you the tag team titles. At Money in the Bank, the New Day win. After they've won, Harper and Rowan are pretty pissed because this was their way to get the tag team belts. So they turn on Daniel Bryan, leaving him in the middle of the ring when none other than Randy Orton himself, who has won Money in the Bank earlier in the night, cashes in and beats Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. On the road to Extreme Rules, Kofi says he earned a championship match at Extreme Rules. Mr. McMahon comes out and tells him, you will face Daniel Bryan and have an unsanctioned Falls Count Anywhere match for the #1 contender spot at SummerSlam. At Extreme Rules, Kofi wins when he does the same splash that he did at Mania that he missed through a table. But this time, he never hesitates when he jumps off. On the road to SummerSlam, Kofi comes out the next night. He's a little beat up, but he cuts a promo. So him and the Daniel Bryan thing are over. He finally beat him. He says the only thing that stands between him and his lifelong dream is the same thing that kept him away from it over a decade ago. And he calls Randy out, but Randy at this point is like a 15-time WWE champion. He's kind of that Brock Lesnar role where he doesn't care, he doesn't talk to anybody, and he shows up when he wants to. Kofi continues to cut promos, win strong showing matches against Mustafa Ali, Samoa Joe, with the New Day by his side. But Randy and him have no interaction, and while picking up these wins, Mr. McMahon is still not impressed, and tells Kofi that he can earn his respect next week by beating Vince's hand-picked opponent, but nobody knows who Vince has in mind. It's the week before SummerSlam, it's the go-home show. It's announced Randy will be at SmackDown, and he'll be on commentary for Kofi's match tonight. First time we've heard from him since he's won the title. The mystery opponent turns out to be John Cena. Cena comes down and tells Kofi that when Randy Orton has a title, he's a different man. He will do anything to keep it, and Cena doesn't know if he has it to beat Randy Orton. So Cena says, if I beat you tonight, I take your spot at SummerSlam, and I face Randy Orton. Match goes on for about 20 minutes. Kofi picks up the win with a Trouble in Paradise, and after, him and Cena gather themselves. Cena looks at Kofi off microphone, just right on the camera, just says, I was wrong, rolls out of the ring, and Kofi stares out at Orton, who, being on commentary, never said a single word. He stands up, he raises the title. As SmackDown goes off the air, Orton is looking at Kofi right in the eyes. First words he's ever said since winning the title, he just says, stupid. Just says, stupid.
Stupid.
At SummerSlam, Randy and Kofi play off some of the old spots from over 11 years ago. Randy calling Kofi stupid after hitting a move, Kofi putting Orton through tables with a boom drop, and in the end, Randy goes for an RKO. Kofi reverses, pushes him against the ropes, hits a Trouble in Paradise. Kofi pins Orton, finally raises the title, and Big E and Xavier hold him on their shoulders while confetti rains down.
That was a really good book.
That was fantastic. That was funny.
It was a good story. I wish I had some milk and cookies to go along with it. But it's 8 o'clock.
That's like the third funniest thing
I
you
did
said.
I did that in 7 minutes.
Hey, Dante, you're on a roll today.
Man, I've been up since like 4, so yeah.
Touche.
Yeah.
I did that in 7 minutes. I'm proud of myself.
That's good, yeah. So that means you have 7 minutes to talk about Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that it's going to take till SummerSlam?
No. I only did that for the booking.
Okay.
No, he's winning at Mania.
Okay.
I would hope he wins at Mania since they prolonged it to Mania.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't win at Mania, I'll be like very, very surprised. Like Brock beating Roman surprised.
Yeah.
I feel like his hype would slowly die down too.
Yeah.
If it took that long.
How long do you think his title reign would be? Does it need to be long?
I think it'll be till SummerSlam.
It doesn't need to, because I think that's just the moment
The
victory.
payoff is the
That's
thing,
a moment
yeah.
victory.
Even till SummerSlam isn't long. That's only 3 months.
I think that's all it's going to be.
4 months.
That's all it's going to be, I think.
Yeah.
So maybe the SummerSlam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
till
probably till
SummerSlam.
probably till
He doesn't need to be a lengthy champion.
Right.
No.
And
this is more of like a coronation.
And
kind
especially
of
since you said they're going to Fox, they need like a big name.
Yeah.
So I would see a big name holding. I'm not saying Kofi isn't like a
Right.
a
But
good name.
if you could get someone
If you get somebody like an AJ Roman,
Yeah.
I
somebody
wouldn't be
like that
surprised
kind
if
holding the
SummerSlam is
title.
Kofi versus Roman and Roman wins.
And he
because
squashes
they're a
him.
month out from moving.
Let's go.
They're
Yeah.
a month out from moving to Fox.
Right.
Yeah.
It's in October. They're
October
moving.
4th is their first
And
episode on
SummerSlam, I'm
Fox.
pretty sure, is August
11th.
11th.
Early.
Yeah.
So they would probably give it to a big name before they move to Fox.
Yeah.
So I would say his title reign would be from Mania to then, or Mania to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Mania to SummerSlam. I definitely see that.
Does this at all parlay down the line into the New Day triple threat?
I don't think we need that.
No, I don't think so. I don't
Not
think
even
the New
as like
Day-
a friendly competition
Not
thing?
even.
Not even?
Because they
I wouldn't mind it.
after they lost
yeah.
the Raw tag titles to the Bar, they weren't the Bar yet, but back then they were like, hey, they're about to break up. Then they come to SmackDown like, yeah, what's up?
They sell too much merch.
Yeah,
like
That's
they,
the thing.
they sell so much.
They
merch.
had it was cereal, then ice cream, then pancakes. They'll find something else, and that's something they could just all write off with.
Yeah.
Like Xavier
Yeah.
Woods has his show
I
that's
don't-
kind of built around the
Yeah.
New Day. So
I don't think they'll ever break up, but if Kofi's champ, I could see them like, hey, you're my friends. You got me to this point. The least I could do right now is give you guys a title shot. And then maybe at the Saudi show, maybe at Backlash, you do some sort of
I
triple
would say
threat
like
for the
at
title.
Extreme Rules, just give them just a normal triple threat.
Yeah.
Backlash would be fine.
Yeah. Give Xavier.
If you don't run back the rematch.
I would think. I don't know
do
about
like
the
a-
rematch thing with
Brian
how
could
they-
go to Raw too. I don't
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. Night after Mania, they're supposed. It's the International Superstars show.
The week after Mania, yeah.
Look, I think like Brian and AJ is gonna go to Raw because they're gonna like if you do say they're technical on Raw, you would need those two over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then keep like Balor over there too.
Speaking of the New Day triple threat, I kind of wouldn't mind that. Thinking about it more and more, give Xavier TJP's theme, have him be the gamer boy, have Biggie the monster heel, and Kofi the favorite.
I don't think Big E can ever be a heel again.
Nah.
He's too funny.
He's too funny. Like he can cut really good serious promos.
Yeah,
But I don't think they can be like.
but he'd be the
heel.
one out of any of those three.
Oh
Of
yeah,
the three, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I just don't see any of them as heels.
At this point, they're going to retire together as the New Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, if you would have told me a few years ago Kofi Kingston would be the first world champion out of New Day,
Yeah, no. If you would have told me like pick one guy,
I would've picked Big E.
would have picked Big E.
Yeah.
I mean, like Big E's definitely their guy that they're gonna push.
Yeah.
I mean, if you believe the rumors from back in the day, like 2013, 2014, Vince was set on Big E,
Yeah.
and Triple H pushed him towards Roman as the new young guy for this generation.
Yeah.
So we could add Roman Reigns just hanging out.
Big E versus Triple H in the main event of WrestleMania.
Listen,
I wonder how that would have went.
oh boy.
Had to be better, I guess. I don't know.
Did you watch WrestleMania 19, Steven?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so that was good, Jesse. Thank you for sharing.
Good job. That was really.
I enjoyed
fun.
that.
Yeah.
All right, now to kill all momentum that we've been running with in this last hour. I have the Riot Squad, so I dealt with all three of them. So,
Dealt with.
All right, this doesn't seem like it's going to be good for them.
no, it is. It is.
Okay.
It's silly, especially now given like what happened on Raw with Ruby losing to Natalia. They're going to be rehabbed. Like it's not that big a deal that they lost because they're doing a hell of a job, just like as who they are. The big question mark in my head, which is why I led to the Riot Squad, was what does Becky Lynch do after she wins? Well, I don't know what the hell she's going to do after she wins because right now the big payoff is the Mania match. And then long term, we don't know if Ronda's going to be around. We don't know if Charlotte's going to stay on Raw with
It'll
her.
probably be the Horsewoman versus the Horsewoman in the long term
yeah.
if that happens.
How far down the road would you do that, though? So here's what I got. The whole idea was to try to build Ruby up to be Becky's next feud. And all along the way, get Liv and Sarah some recognition. So WrestleMania, Ruby wins the Women's Battle Royal. I think that's an easy enough pick there. I have, so the final 6 here, we got the Riots, Naomi, Mandy, and Lacey. Just names, okay? Liv and Sarah get eliminated. Naomi eliminates Lacey, and then Naomi and Mandy fight, and they eliminate each other. So Riot wins without having to do anything. It's the perfect way to win. So, next night on Raw, or the night of the shakeup, because the way I have this formatted here, Ruby has a promo where she's like, yeah, you guys doubted me. I didn't really win, but I'm still the winner, and I'm not as bad as you people think I am. This is my year. This is the squad's year, whatever. Promo gets interrupted by Naomi and Carmella, who jump over to Raw in the shakeup because Raw needs a babyface tag team. If Sasha and Bayley are the touring champions for a while, they don't have to be on Raw every week, but you do need some baby faces on Raw. So they brawl. The Riots get an upper hand because they have the numbers game. Somewhere on the road to Backlash, I guess it would be Backlash. Yeah. Liv beats Carmella on TV. She has a promo afterwards where she talks about her own struggles, how the people didn't think that she would succeed as, whatever the hell she was. But now she's found strength with the Riots or something like that. Sarah Logan beats Natalya or some other babyface.
Oh, God.
She says something about like how everyone wrote her off because they didn't like her accent or whatever. She had the big promo with Daniel Bryan back in 2017 where you couldn't understand her. But yeah, she has something where, chip on her shoulder kind of thing. At Backlash, on the kickoff, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan beat Carmella and Naomi. A little match, throw that on there. Becky Lynch retains the Raw Women's title against Alexa Bliss as the women's title match. Post-match, the Riot Squad come down, beat up Lynch. So Ruby's sticking her ground. She's there. Road to Money in the Bank now. The night after Backlash, we run Becky versus Liv Morgan. Becky wins. Riots come down. Becky on the build, maybe during a contract signing or something, jokes to Ruby about not being able to beat Ronda. And, oh, look at me, I beat Ronda at WrestleMania. So, haha, you can't do anything. Ruby slaps her. Ruby has this whole thing like, yeah, you keep doubting me. I'm going to keep, everything that I thought Jinder Mahal should have been. Here's how
Stop it.
This is how I shoehorn Jinder Mahal.
I thought we were going to say that name in the show.
You were going good.
I was going good, yeah. I was going good. Somehow, some way, too, Liv and Sarah both qualify for Money in the Bank because Liv Morgan taking a big bump in a ladder match is something I need to see.
It'll most likely happen.
Yeah.
Because that's what she does.
Yeah. So, Ruby has this whole, like, keep doubting me, I'm going to prove you wrong kind of thing. Becky doesn't really, doesn't think that Ruby's on par with her. Money in the Bank, obligatory, someone that's not Liv or Sarah wins Money in the Bank. So I have Lacey Evans here.
I was just about to say Lacey Evans.
Whoever it is, I want it to be on SmackDown because I don't have plans for whoever it is cashing in on Raw.
Mandy.
They run, Mandy would be a good Money in the Bank winner, yeah.
If it's a character.
Becky versus
I'm trying to sing your song real quick.
Becky versus Ruby for the title goes to a DQ with a squad beat down, but Bayley and Sasha Banks make the save. So, leading to Extreme Rules. On one side, you have Bayley, Becky, and Sasha. Bayley and Sasha are still women's tag champs, and then the Riots. The Riots goad them into putting all of their titles on the line at Extreme Rules. And that's kind of what you do. That's how you start getting the horsewomen back into the things here. So, at Extreme Rules, it's the Riots against Bayley, Becky, and Sasha for the Raw Women's title and the Women's Tag titles. You could throw some sort of gimmick match on that. I don't know. Hell in a Cell? Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
You can only be Hell in a Cell at Hell in a Cell.
WrestleMania 20, WrestleMania 28 would like to say hello.
And 32.
And 32.
That was before Hell in a Cell was
No, it wasn't.
Was it?
2009 was the first Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
It was in Newark, too.
I was there. I was there.
Wasn't there a Hell in a Cell at like SummerSlam too a couple years ago? Undertaker Edge.
That was
08. That was before the pay-per-view. Anywho, Liv pins Bailey, so the Riots win the tag titles. Ruby wins the Raw Women's title, but she doesn't beat Becky. So now we lead to SummerSlam. We got like 4 weeks of build here. Riots have a celebration. Liv and Sarah, this is their coming out party. They're so excited, everything, whatever. Ruby, this is a chance at validation. She talks about that. She talks about how everyone thought I lost 2 minutes to Ronda Rousey back in February for the title. Now look at me. I'm the champion that you guys didn't think I was good enough to be, whatever. If you want to even kick more sand into the wound, if Ronda's a heel and Ronda goes corporate, you could have the McMahons come out and thank Ruby Riott for taking the belt off of Becky. If Becky's too rambunctious as champion, you could have whoever beats her be the new corporate. It doesn't have to be corporate, but to have the endorsement of the authority is going to be something. Becky crashes the whole celebration thing, wants a fight at SummerSlam. Okay, whatever. You didn't actually beat me, so I'm going to beat you. I'm going to prove everyone, whatever. On the build, too, if you wanted to, just have the Riots have a tag title defense on Raw. Kyrie and Io is the name I have there just for the hell of it, but it could be any two women. If you won't give them Carmella and Naomi again, that's fine. SummerSlam happens. The Riots retain against Bailey and Sasha with the women's tag titles. And then in a street fight I have here for the Raw women's title, Ruby could beat Becky. Using weapons is a little cleaner than interference. So you give Ruby the credibility that she did that. But she still doesn't beat Becky Lynch in an actual wrestling match, which is fine. Down the line, I post SummerSlam, the idea would be Becky beating Ruby at Evolution 2 for the title in October. So Ruby kind of does some stuff in between, maybe fights Sasha and Bailey, and then Becky comes back and says, give me one more chance. I'll, put my career on the line. I don't know, whatever.
Send me back to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And that ultimately parlays into the horsewoman match at Survivor Series. So going back to what we were talking about 5-10 minutes ago, that's where I would end up doing that, is that Survivor Series. So Becky ends up being champion, then goes right into the feud with the horsewomen. And that maybe parlays into Becky Ronda singles at Mania next year. I have no idea what the direction is because it's a year out.
They do, though.
They do. They have an idea.
Know. Yeah, deep in the secrets.
And then Liv and Sarah could lose the titles either to Bailey and Sasha or to two of the horsewomen. It's not Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir because that's okay. That's no. Shayna Baszler, maybe Baszler and someone.
Baszler and one of the
yeah.
Baszler could carry them, but
them
together.
Baszler and Ronda as a tag team.
Yeah.
That would be like MDK.
They could never lose.
Exactly.
Yeah, because nobody can actually really beat them.
Yeah,
and realistically.
Man,
so ultimately, what I tried to do with the Riots here was make them, even if they're just the bridge between this Becky Ronda feud and next year's Becky Ronda feud, they're at least elevated in that regard. You give them both the title reigns that they probably will end up having at some point, whether they're on Raw or SmackDown. You're making Liv and Sarah a little more credible than they are, where they don't just feel like lackeys, they feel like the legit threats. And obviously Ruby being a credible challenger to Becky, she doesn't have to get the upper hand on Becky, but she could still beat her because, again, I don't know what you do with Becky post-Mania to capitalize on this. Eventually she's going to have to lose the title. And we saw the way
she doesn't. Never. She'll retire.
She really doesn't, unless Ronda beats her at the next Mania. If you wanted to if you wanted to hold it for that long, sure.
Right. And you don't know what the crowd's going to do a year from now. I don't think they'll ever drop Becky down because, like you saw with Daniel
Bryan.
Yeah. But yeah, ultimately, if she's going to lose, it's going to be some sort of head assery. So that's where we get like Liv pins Bailey, but Becky loses the title to Ronda.
You're on a roll today.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to be when we come back, but you're on a roll today.
It's probably going to be worse, honestly. So yeah, that's what I have here.
I'm with it 100%. They need to do something with the Riots.
That was going to be my question. Like,
I feel they're underused. because she was in NXT for a very short time, and she was kind of underused in NXT too.
Very.
But she was in the I think it was a Fatal 4-Way, one of the.
She was in the Triple Threat at Chicago for
it was
the
a
title.
Triple Threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she kind of still underused. I probably would put them on SmackDown.
Again? Yeah.
Look.
Something to do. Again, we were talking who the hell replaces Becky and Charlotte if they both
Well, I think
go to...
Charlotte's going to stay on SmackDown. But you're going to need more people on SmackDown. And that's another tag team you can put on SmackDown. And then probably Mandy and Sonya goes over to Raw. Then they'll probably switch again. So it's whatever.
Yeah.
But who knows what's actually going to happen with them. It's like kind of up in the air with them right now. Because the women are really in one direction. And it's one really storyline for the women right now.
Yeah. It's one big one that takes precedence over everything else that's going on.
Actually, everything else in the company, really. Because that's the main thing every week.
So, in terms of Becky losing, how she doesn't need... Does she need a long reign?
I mean, Becky doesn't even need the title at this point because she's so over, but also at the same time, I feel like the
You
fans...
need to pay off with her at Mania.
Yeah, she needs the title. She doesn't need a long reign. I think they'll give her one anyway. The problem is with Becky's going to be elevating other people to her level.
Right.
That's going to be the biggest problem.
And the only thing, if she has a long title reign, how will they not make it stale?
Right.
Because, like, for instance, I'm a big AJ Styles fan. That title run...
We've talked about this.
Yeah.
It's still better than Jinder's, but...
It's not, but you can go ahead.
Whatever. It got a little towards the end. And some in the middle. But
because it went a little too long.
A little. They wanted him to get that... the thing, the record.
Yeah, the record.
So if Becky could get 8 months to a year, that's fine by me. And just give her good opponents and good storylines, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's really the thing, is maximizing her competition. Because, it's one thing to have feuds with Charlotte and Asuka and Ronda for 8 months.
Because
like
she'll probably
did.
fight Baszler. That's one we'll probably get.
Yeah. But then after that, it's like you have to
start building
sell people on Becky's level, because otherwise Becky just punked them out. Just straight up big sister them. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Cool. I'm with it.
Great.
I love it. I'm with it.
We've got 10 more minutes.
Oh, nice.
How would you guys like to spend these 10 minutes?
Could we make like a quick top 2 list or something?
Yeah, off the top of our heads.
Yeah, top of our heads. Think of something. Throw something out.
Best WrestleMania stages. Stage designs.
33.
I really remember
33 is about it.
Recent ones, I'd say, like within the last 10 years.
How about this? Top 5 wrestlers. That's easy.
Of all time?
Of all time.
All time.
Of all time. Easy.
Like in terms of in-ring or favorites?
Everything. Whatever. Your favorites.
All right.
That's easy.
Number 1, John Cena. Number 2, Velveteen Dream.
Whoa.
He did say that. He did say this.
Honestly, yeah. that's not
Number
far
3, AJ Styles. 4, Adam Cole. 5, who else? Batista.
Cool.
off. Are we doing favorites here?
I did favorites. That was my favorite.
Favorite /
Okay.
best.
Okay. No particular order, but Cena's number 1 because Cena's the greatest of all time.
How do you say no particular order, but Cena's number 1?
Well, everything
Continue.
After that
Yeah.
is whatever.
Continue.
Cena, Mysterio. This is tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
Who do I like now?
Jinder, you love
No,
Jinder.
he's not top 5.
Is that a hot
We
take?
got a little bit of Dante
No.
Jinder slander.
Let's go. I'm all for that
Dante
as
hates
well.
Jinder?
He's not
What?
top 5 all time.
Get the headlines printed.
Yeah, so Cena, I said Ray Jr. You got to throw Michaels up there, I guess, in terms of...
What's your favorite? It's up to you.
You a
Oh,
big
if it's
Creed fan? You like Creed?
Oof. You put me on the spot here, guys.
Yeah.
Hold on. I have a...
All right, do you want me to go?
You go.
Go.
I have,
We'll
a,
go.
I
We'll
have
go
a
for
picture
one
of my
of
these.
fan
Okay.
list. Hold on.
This is no order, so we got Taker,
Yeah.
the one who shall not be named. He had some really good stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Kurt Angle,
Okay.
Shawn Michaels. Then 5, or the last person you could throw in, AJ, Cena, any Bret Hart. I really like Bret Hart. You could throw in anybody.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd go Undertaker. This is not in the order except for number 1. Undertaker's my all-time favorite. I'd put AJ up there. I'd put I'd put Orton up there, because I was a huge Orton fan back when I was younger. I'd put Cena up there. Recently, I'd put Aleister Black. AJ, I don't know if I said that already. Seth Rollins, Owens, of course, and
I think that's 5.
that's more than 5. But
So,
yeah,
You gave us your whole list. It's okay. That's fine.
Might as well name the whole roster.
So shout out to Discord. Periodically, we end up going on Sporkle and making stand list quizzes for everyone to guess. So we just name our 50 favorite wrestlers, and then we give them the quiz, and then everyone else tries to figure out who our favorite wrestlers are. So I have my top 50.
Oh, jeez.
We don't need that.
I'll just go through the Cliff Notes version.
Before you say your top 5, where's Jinder
That's
at?
what I want to know, too.
17.
Oh, man.
He's at 17, and this
wouldn't even be in my top 100.
This was made on Valentine's Day, so that's like 3-4 weeks ago. Yeah.
I don't know where he ranks so high.
All right.
He's not at the very bottom, but
No. He's at my very bottom.
No.
That's
he's
okay.
like my shoe
My
level.
very
That's
bottom
okay.
is like Adam Rose.
All right.
He was never given the title.
Number 1 all-time John Cena. Pentagon is number 2, but he's more of an indie guy, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with him.
Yeah.
I've seen some of his work.
All the indie guys, yeah.
Yeah, he's really good.
I got into Lucha Underground in season 1. That's when he started to get picked up and start breaking arms and stuff. So I've been a Pentagon fan since. I love Pentagon.
Yeah, he's dope.
Miz is 3. Been a Miz fan for years.
Okay.
Velveteen Dream is 4. I've been a Velveteen fan for years. And Rob Van Dam is 5. I think Van Dam, for as high as he is, he doesn't get enough credit.
Like Matt Riddle?
Yeah. He doesn't get nearly enough credit for being as innovative as he was.
Yeah.
And I think like a lot of people who grow up watching High Flyers forget to acknowledge that they take their stuff from Van Dam.
He has the absolute best frog splash I've ever seen.
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
He used to they would be on one side of the ring. He would run to the opposite side of the ring to frog splash him.
I'd say second best right now is Leo Rush. Leo Rush has a nice frog splash.
Leo does have a nice
It's
frog
nice, but
splash.
I'd beg to differ.
Yeah, I'd say Rob Van Dam, number 1.
I like Eddie's because it was smooth. And then AJ also had a nice one back then. But hey,
Best elbow drops Kyrie of all time. I'm going to say that now.
Macho Man number 1.
No, I think Kyrie's better.
I'm just doing that over nostalgia. But Macho Man's
Velveteen's
number 1.
up there, too.
Oh, yeah.
Velveteen's elbow drop is nice.
CM Punk's up there too because it's basically Macho Man. So hey,
I love Kyrie.
So that was our 7th episode.
we got a top 5 in there.
Yeah.
It wasn't on the rundown. We got it in there.
Look at us on the spot. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So next week we're off because of spring break.
Ooh, it's gonna be a cold spring break.
Yeah. The week after we'll be back. Probably talk FastLane, but we'll talk more big picture leading into Mania. We'll find out what the hell we're doing then. But I think we had a very good episode today.
Very good.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
We'll have a packed episode in a couple weeks.
Very,
2
very
Raws,
busy.
2 SmackDowns, a pay-per-view.
2 NXTs.
Yeah. And plus NXT tapings.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not gonna spoil much more. Well, let's hope not.
So for Stephen Clark, Samori Rose, and Jesse Norman, I'm Dante Vacatoro. Thank you so much for listening. You can catch the replay on YouTube at the end of the day. And remember, we're up this early because there's no rest holds for the weary. Thanks for listening.
Wake up. The strong don't sleep.
Hang out with me, Dante Vacatoro, and my cast of characters on No Rest Holds for the Weary. Wake up and listen to fans talking wrestling every Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. only on Brave New Radio.
And remember, we're up this early because there's no rest holds for the weary.
WPSC, Wayne, New Jersey. On the radio, 88.7 FM. Online, GoBrave.org. A tune-in radio station. Part of the William Patterson Broadcast Network.